Okay, not too much is cut off. Let's go continue. Oh yes, it's the crazy old guy back in his house. I'm gonna do a sound check because I always do a sound check because practice makes perfect. So I'm in a new environment, so I need to sound. I'm gonna do a sound check. So, 1, 2, 3. We only have 3. We only have 3 this time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it works. Let's go. It works pretty well. I was like waiting for it on my phone. Oh, we got another thing. You managed to get through the heart of the woods. Oh, yes, because we almost died over there. That's great. You travelled the 4 major roads that connect the peninsula. So the White Marshes might not be on a road. Also, how dark is it? 30 minutes before dusk. Let's go. We're not going to sleep tonight, guys. I forgot what voice you had. It's been a week. I've forgotten what voice. Everything's gonna get lost. I'm gonna give them all new voices. Oh my word. Just my luck. I tell ya, he clicks his tongue. Well, I'll try to shoot down a bird or 2 tomorrow. I'm saving my bolts for an apeman. And because of those stinkers, I can't even roast anything. Raw meat makes me want to puke. A long sigh. Everything is terrible, stranger. So if you have any questions, I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. I should ask him what he wants. This village makes me sick. Me too. In the gut and the thinker. Gets easier with time if you be patient. Must be the air, the smell of death. Death. And apeman. He pats his stomach with a laugh. How do you keep the goblins away? I got a trick or 2 to keep me safe. A little something that scares them away, even without magic. But I tell you what, he smiles with a wide grin. Help me get out of here. I'm gonna share some of it with ya. Are you sure there's no one dead around? He nods. I've seen none. People say it's less than 10 years since the herds came here. Don't know if anyone bothered with raising the prey. If not, the dead would roam all the forest now. He clicks his tongue with frustration. It must be there's a walker somewhere under the debris. It may be that there's a walker somewhere under the debris, waiting to break through like a dragon in an egg. He looks straight at you. Ah, you better not dig. You came to the wrong place. Time, moisture, and the damp borders devastated all the loot. I've been here for a couple of days now, and there's nothing less. Is the iron that I carry here. I was planning to go back with some hard muscles, clearing the collapsed building, but I doubt it'd be worth the time and risk. No, I think they're in the north or east. I stuck to the west roads, and none shall bother me. Sorry, can't help you. Tell me about yourself. He gives you a sullen glance. What for? I have no legacy to keep. In the tales, I might tell this and that after you take me out of here. Hello and welcome in. I see a soul has joined us. Hello. Oh, thank you for the like. Gave me another like. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's keep going. I should ask him what he wants. What does he want to travel now? Let me explain, I was in Hallisdale, the closest village to the east and the north. The people were nice, you know, not like on old Pagus. They were boring and grim, more than a crow, but yeah, crying for coin for everything, the damn good coin. I left. I wanted to look around the ruins, see if there's anything left, then move to the Pelt and hire hunters to help me there. No luck. A bunch of griffs jumped me and my pack bird. I just brought it. He split on the ground, fast and nimble. Didn't brave enough to listen to me with all the screaming and screeching started. So I ran away with my bags. A few fell on the ground and I pulled them here. But yeah, see how it is? I wouldn't travel around with a tent on my back. He taps his crossbow with a finger. I need maybe a day more, just a day, and I'll have all the iron scraps from the barrels so I can move forward. But yeah, I can't take my stuff alone, and without me around, the 8 men were going to break in and steal all my stuff. I need to stay here, but since you have a horse, come back tomorrow and help me to Hallisdale. How about it? I just know the road is safe as it can be, I mean. What exactly do you want me to do? I need you to make sure there's no danger ahead hiding on the road. From here to Hallisdale, or rather, there is some danger, but yeah, as long as you can get there and safely return. I'm sure we'll handle some roaming monsters. He theatrically rubs his hands together. This Barristine has hit more skull beasts than I have fingers. And I'll never lose a finger, Roadster, only the toes. Okay. Hi Wade, welcome in. We are continuing our little talking to the guy in the basement right now. And it's 30 minutes to dusk. I have no time to go anywhere. But we're still alive. This is a fun adventure. Maybe to prove it, he started to count his fingers. So, see if the road there is clear. Then come back tomorrow and we'll pack my stuff on your horse and move out. But don't come when it's close to evening. We're going to need 3 hours on foot. And I won't push through the night. Even sleeping next to an 8-man tribe is safer. He chuckles. And don't make me wait for too long. I can wait for a couple of days if I find food, but don't get back, I'll have to risk it. No matter what. Why Hallisden? If we go to the south, we could travel to the Pelton North. I mean, I see your point, but I've never been there. Can they afford my iron? Do they have means to pay for it? I need coin to find a handy bunch that will walk me south. I need a staff and bullets. I know the village, it's a nice place. Even has a smithery of sorts. No chance. Though it's a large inn, a safe one, they seem to be rich, and enough hunters to go due south. You can use the iron to barter. Well, it's a shorter path, I guess. Fewer spots to be surrounded by corpses. Those are the walkers, the zombies. We have zombies. If you're sure it's the best option, fine. I'll trust a roadster's judgment. I have to say this. Why can't I just leave? Yeah, I have to ask for things. I wish I could just leave, because I honestly don't want his money. Because I know he's not going to pay me anything. I don't want his money. Okay, fine. I have ways to pay you, don't worry. I got the dragons and sell the iron first, but I'll need a bit of time. You see, 5 for a short escort would be plenty, I'd say. But if you, I'd give you a special jar of mine. A fine mixture that scares 8-men away. Works on pillars, too. I bet it's really disgusting. I've got a jar of dirt. No. No jar of dirts. We're not going back into that. When you ask if it's all the stench of surely related to his potion, he winks and chuckles. I thought so. He seems surprised. I mean, sure, but I don't have connections there, you know, just my eyes. He starts to hum. You know, a long pause. Go to Howler's. You meet the mayor there, for sure, Talus. Whatever you do, don't ask her where she got her coin from, eh? She's rich, stupid rich. Don't ask her how this happened. Trust me, he scratches his beard with a mournful look. Fine. Thanks, Roadster. Just come tomorrow and I'll make it worth your time. Time for me to leave. Can I find shelter? It's too dangerous to stay here or travel north. Okay, so I can't stay here. You can't sleep here. There's still time to find a safe spot, but the creatures at night will surely attack you. I'm gonna lose. I'm losing more health. Everything's fine. He's got ways to pay. Yeah, I know. I just don't like taking money because I already have money. Well, I could always do with more money, but I have like 17 right now, which is pretty good. I have some stuff I can give tailors and whatnot. I guess I should go to Pell to the north because I've got spider silk and nothing to do with it. I'm just gonna save. Save, yeah. And return. And go to the Pell to the north and get attacked. Because it's the closest place. Yeah, it's the closest place. Yeah, I know I can't get here before nightfall. Let me travel. It's not letting me travel. Hold on, I have to press this again apparently. It wants me to double check if I want to get injured whilst... Oh dear. The lights are promising a refuge. The guards have bows and spears in their hands, asking if there are any monsters behind you. They tell you to wait, observing the area, then open the gate carefully, only to close it right after you ride inside. Bored with life, RoadWarden, one of them grumbles. Haven't you noticed it's already dark? Apologize to them and enter the inn. The strong fire in the stove lights up, though the whispers between the guards are tense. The innkeeper holds a broom in one hand and a cleaning cloth in anything. So, you again. Need anything? Do I have anything you'd like to buy? You pull out some items, but the innkeeper shakes his head. I don't need those, nor can I sell them to anybody. I'd rather make coin than waste them, so bring me something of value. I pack my things. Can I sleep? Do you have stuff for sale? What do you have for sale? New trader unlocked. Okay, great. I didn't have that unlocked. I go and pick up a few things for you. I go and I pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausages, not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need, but buyers were caught by a pack of wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot, just nice for a wall. An almost untouched bowl of soap, priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Well, I am really dirty, right? Made of fine oak ash, strong though. You'll need some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of crows. A yield bow, a bow, a woolen cord, and a trigger, just need a little bit of an oil. It's good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Take a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 17-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Let me have a look. So, ally. Bar of soap. Well, that's one. Bar of soap that burns skin on long contact. That sounds beautiful. Hi, Ruby. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you guys going, by the way? I forgot to ask that because I was reading and I was trying to not get attacked at night. But how are you guys doing? Wade, Ruby, how are you guys going? Also, thank you for the like, Ruby. Well, we have 0 rations. I really want some soap, though. Excuse me if I start coughing. 3 filling meals that won't spoil anytime soon. That's pretty good. Let's go back. Sleep. I can sleep on a bench. We'll deduct that you're hungry. I know I'm hungry. I can very well see that I am hungry. I am hungry. So let's ask for leftovers. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Okay. That's fine. We'll get a room because we can afford it. And yeah, that's not... Yeah, let's do this. I can sleep on a bench though, which is great. You hear a thunderous roar. You rise to your feet and rub the sleep from your eyes. The doors are open. People are shouting orders, words of warning. As you open the window, you see what's behind the commotion. Something is on the other side of the wall, trying to get through. The guards are fighting it off with their torches, spears, and crossbows. Thanks to your lights, you see a large, furry paw placed on the top of the wall, walking. As far as you can tell, it is a beast, but a single leap away from getting inside. I need to help them? Sure. Oh, you look for your garrison and blades, still in a foggy thought. Once you find them, you struggle to get inside the jacket. Your habit kicks in. You see the innkeeper right in front of you holding a candle. You're a guest. Stay here, he says without a shadow of hesitation. My team has no time to worry about strange outsiders. Just after his words, you hear a cheer, laughter from the wall. Judging by the way they point their fingers and lower their weapons, beast has fled. Well, I shouldn't expect people will need my help all the time. They can fend for themselves. They've been existing in this world longer than I have. The small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath. Interesting, I think that's the room there. And rest on a soft mattress, looking through the window, enjoying the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden board bearing an automatic breakfast. Fresh rye bread, a sausage, a bowl of berries. Ooh, berries. I'll take the berries, or just steal them, it's all good. And some mug of malty beer. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting a fire into the stove. He asks you if you need anything. Let's go travel. I'm currently here. So I go outside. You step outside and Reginald is napping. At this hour, the armor shop would be closed. I travel because I have to make sure the road's safe. So we're going to the Pelt on the north, aren't we? For this guy's thing. Where is it? Merchant. Was destroyed. Newcomers. This event occurred at the same time as few others. Newcomers arrived at Pelt to the north. The enchantress left Old Pagus. People stopped using the roads leading to the heart of the forest. Experienced weird symptoms with escorting scavenger. On day 8, I met a scavenger in the ruined village at the southern roads. He wants me to escort him to the village of Haller's Dell. He needs another day to grab his things and prepare the iron he's gathered. He asked me to return tomorrow, at least 3 hours before dusk. Before I do, I need to make sure the route leading to Hallersdale isn't blocked by obstacles. I know the road from the ruined village to Hallersdale is safe. I can also take him to the Pelt. For my help, he offers me either dragon bones or a mixture that scares apemen away. Well, I can probably do the mixture, which would be better, honestly. Let's save. Let's travel to Hallersdale, because I don't really trust these guys. Let's go to the Beholder. at the beholder. You reach the crossroads, the wind is moving the branches gently, and the bubbles are breaking through the water's surface. You can't get close enough to identify their source. I offer my magical power, 3 or more. You prepare your wand. I give it everything I have. Ooh, okay, that did something. The tree greets your offering with a sound of moving, stretching the branches. I walk away. Okay, I travel again. Let's go. Next time we rest, we can give it another one. Let's go to Haller's Dell. You approach the gates, then carefully dismount. A guard approaches you, ready to take your mount to the stable. Hello, stranger. What news do you bring? We gossip for a bit. Even though Hallersdale is a large village, life here is slow. The curious locals gather around to take part in your conversation. Recently, the fields could use more rain. Nobody is happy to have to water them with buckets. Okay, 12 hours before dusk. Let's enter the village. The stableman shows up after you step away from Reginald. His lips are thinned and he gives a long glance towards the bridge. Here you go. He nods with gratitude and throws a bone into a leaky bucket hanging from a nail, then grabs a wooden pitchfork. I let him work in peace. You wander through the village. A group of children covered in mud, gathered by your mount, argue loudly about what's better, horses or donkeys. You see a crying boy surrounded by 3 older girls. They clean his injured knee while stopping themselves from laughing. I go to the tailor. You follow the guard's directions and reach the whitewashed building standing on the western bank. Next to it, a small garden of flowers and herbs. It's well kept and clean, with a plain, beaten front yard, in parts covered with sand. Though the open building, you catch a glimpse of furniture made of smooth, almost shiny wood with hints of dark, cherry-like red, decorated with carvings of plants. Okay. A woman in her 40s is sitting on a wooden bench. The table is covered with fabrics, threads, needles made of bone and iron. She is sewing a long sleeve to what's going on to become a blue tunic. Her movements are quick and confident. Her brown and wavy shoulder-length hair is tied in a wreath-like braid. There we go. But other than that, her clothes are simple and inconspicuous. She doesn't have a left leg, but you don't notice any cane. Interesting. You observe her for a few minutes without sparing you so much as a glance. She encourages you to speak with a grunt. I'm looking for a tailor. You found one. Her voice is low. She doesn't stop her work. Name is Bon. I'm interested in a set of clothes. Can I sell her anything? Okay. It will not stop the light to open up below. There's any light. You take it off and point at its tears. The little lady follows your fingers patiently. There's my pa. 2 dragon rings. I'll patch it up in half an hour. If it was in worse shape, I'd ask for more time and more rings. To get truly strong for longer, I need to be made from better materials, spider silk. Oh, I have spider silk. I actually have spider silk with me. Would you like to buy it? You show her the wrapped stick. Without asking, she takes one of the shorter threads and starts to stretch it. She nods. I do. What do you want? Dragon rings or a better jacket? You ask her in detail, and she loses more of her patience with every breath. 10 rings for the thread, or give me 2 hours and put some of it here. She vaguely points at your garment. Make it stronger, easier to wear. Well, I have rings, really, and all I'm using them on right now is to buy sleep and stuff. And I can honestly, I've got soap now, so I can wash myself. I've got rations. I can get good rations at the Foggo's place, so... We need to eat because we're hungry, and we need better armor. So strengthen my armor. You spent the time brushing and watering Reginald, practicing combat moves, dances with your axe, washing your hands, neck, and face. Near the end of the hour, you return to the tailor and sit down on a stump, relaxing to the sound of Howler's Creek. She asks you to come closer and points at the spot where seems to be ripped and replaced with spider silk, which is much lighter than the old thread. It will not get stronger than this, unless you cover it with troll hide or something. Can I ask you a couple of questions? The boredom in her voice is palpable. I am not bored. Good luck. You wander through the village. A couple of older people are gossiping about the excitement with wide grins with the millstones. Two men in lighter clothes are carrying a wooden log, insulting each other in this friendly barter. That's nice. Let's go back to this guy. Because the road seems pretty safe. I'm just dying over here. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let's go back. The village remains dead. Let's quick save. I'm not gonna set it here. You enter the scavenger's hideout. The entry to the scavenger's hideout is open. You see scraps of metal organized into piles, while old furniture has been dismantled into loose planks and pushing it into the corners. Aye, the roadster. The man looks tired. His beard is sticky, but he smiles at you. If you're ready, I'll start packing the tent. If you don't want to wait, start putting the iron on your mount. It'll be quicker. Just say the word, we can leave. Okay, I'm too tired to practice on the road to the pelt. Requires... Oh, I need stuff myself. Okay. Okay, so I need health to protect him. Can I bring him some food at least? And then, I don't know. I'm ashamed to accept it, he answers, but takes your gift before you end your last word. He puts it in the bowl and licks his lips. Now I can stay here for at least a day or more without risking a hunt and wasting my bolts, but can't for longer. It short can't. Okay, time for me to leave. So I need to rest up because I'm dying. And I can't do stuff while dying. So he's not in Creek, probably purchased something in Gal Rocks. Gal Rocks probably knows something. He was last seen in the north, which everybody seems to be asking about. No sooner than the 10th day. I should leave with them as soon as I can, someday before afternoon, while the boat's still around. I've received my reward for bringing about the dust boxes. I still haven't told them about the spider. Where are you? Oh, you're in the creeks. Okay. So it's day 9 right now. I need to bring him 5 rations. These guys don't have an issue with them, so I need to go ask, because Hallisdale or Pagus, the monastery, and so far I can't get into Gal Rocks yet, and I haven't found White Marshes. But Creeks has no issue with the bandits. It eats that. So I have to remember this one on day 20. I found one of the hunters. I found one of them. I found one of them. I need to go back to the creek soon. Swamp altar. It's resulting to that. So bird hunting and this guy's thing is probably the only thing I need to worry about. How much food do I have? Wild plants, rations, 5. Let's return here. Suppose I should travel then and rest. I haven't been that way yet, so let's go here and we can travel. Friendly insults are the best. They are indeed very good. I'm gonna get off my horse and enter the inn. Any leftovers? Not today, maybe tomorrow. Do you have anything you'd like to buy? Show me your wares. That's 5. I can go to that guy and we can give him his food. I need to go outside. I go travel. Take me 3 hours to get to that. What time is it? 7 hours. I can travel it. Then I'll go to Hallisdale and sleep. Friendly insults are always the best. Have you showered today, Fox? Well, yes, my character has showered, so I'm clean and tidy, but my clothes are torn and worn, so I won't stand out from the crowd, but I don't look like a noble right now. I'm more worried about my health because I'm barely standing and I need to get food. Because I need to be full so my magicka can recharge and my health can get back up, so. I have your food rations. He gives you a radiant smile, cups his large scarred hands, waiting for you to give him the packages. Once you're done, he opens a sack of nuts and shoves them into his mouth. The bandage is the only thing that stops him from looking like a hamster. Aww. What can you tell me about? He asked me for putting over. Okay. Tell me about the road. Not much, he chuckles, turns into a cough. It leads through the lower lands, mostly wood and some ponds. It's dark and it's lethal. He mentions a tale of ghosts, dragons, fogs, blood mages, but whenever you ask about any creature in particular, his response is vague and brief. The tribes have abandoned this road. Ever since the war, the trade has been slow, people refuse to patrol it. The plants are getting taller, but at least for a few more seasons, it's still a short cut. It's good that you have a mount. If you're caught, you chase. Always stay close to the path, ride as fast as you can. If no one uses the road, why are you here? He scolds at you. Not no one. It's where people hunt for monsters. Every few days I have to open it for reasons. But seriously, nah, he waves you off with a smile, but once he speaks his voice cracks. Where would I go anyway? Foggy, it's not that far. Creek seems nice. No. Too far. Halston has survived, you could eat for a year. Plenty of space. Maybe for a year, but the tavern is already full. I have less space than I have in the tower. He gives you a long look. I could spend some time with Palt's crew again, but I can't afford to stay until spring. Unless they're looking for an extra pair of hands, I better stay here. So the thing that stops you from is dragon bones. He lets out a hiss and raises his chin proudly, but after a breath he licks his lips. Sorry, he wants money. He yawns. Okay, trouble. I always said I was gonna Howler's Den. What's wrong with this direction? There's something wrong here. Let's see. It's too late to explore an unfamiliar area. Just won't get here before nightfall. We won't get here before nightfall. Okay. Journal. Let's see. So Foggy's in on Tay Den. I should leave. Days 9. No sooner than Tay Den. Day 10. No sooner. So not before day 10. Okay, fine. You guys get to stay over there even longer. I currently have 6. I need to find more places to put that. I still have to place one at the White Marshes. Is placing one at White Marshes. Okay, I'll go up to White Marshes. Where is White Marshes? I've looked everywhere for it. It's probably in the heart of the forest, surrounded by zombies, honestly. Let's go rest, eat food and rest, because we're hungry. Go to Dolmen. I haven't found Dolmen. Told me to dig. Mentions Dolmen's well might be covered in soot. Who's Dolmen? Unless he's the old guy. Missing hunters. I have to go back to the creeks, but I want to finish up these 2 first. So bird hunting and escort this guy. Okay. We save again. Reginald is doing well, by the way, Wade. He is doing well and happy. We're traveling to Hallersdale, and then I'm going to do some stuff. The druid won't see me because he hates me. If I want to place a bronze rod, I need to ask the mayor's permission first. I go to the main square. You approach the inn. The stools and benches are full of people sharing meals, news, and plans for later. The area is lively, filled with soothing routine. The innkeeper walking around the tables cheerfully, taking care of empty bowls and plates and bringing new servings from the inside. The mayor is nowhere to be seen. The stall is in perfect order, but draws little attention of locals. The trader walks around, gossips. Whenever somebody approaches the counter, he moves back quickly. I don't think I have anything to sell. I need more rations. Spirit rock. I have a bone earring. Oh wait, that was to somebody. Miscellaneous. Bronze rods. Equipment. Fish trap. Magical amulet. Rope. I have like crossbows and not a crossbow to use. Let's go. I approached the lady. I need a few rations. Oh, I'm looking for hunters. I can ask her. Oh, him. Sorry, him. Oh my word. He rubs his neck and looks at the clouds. I recognize those names. But I've seen no folk from Creek in a long time. They came here before and after winter to trade for grains. I need a few rations. Bath and dinner. In an hour you'll get as much food as you can eat and have a proper thing. Sure. Oh, I'm full. You didn't keep track of time, using your soul with a warm water and whiffs of oil. You were served 2 boiled eggs, a cup of buttermilk, and some muffin offals. While the youngsters washed your clothes in the stream, after an hour you return. So now I'm nice and clean. How much money do I have? 10. Return. Let's sleep for a bit. Let's sleep in a room. I need more money now. You lose your senses right after you lie down. In the middle of the warm night stuff air, you are entangled by your dreams, too soon to fully awake, too accustomed to have a mid-sleep break just to go back to sleep. You are between realms, surrounded by visions so vague you're tempted to reach out, touch them, stretch to them. They are your playground. Once I realize I'm in my power, I do my best to enjoy myself. I fly, defeat dragons, eat and drink whatever I want. No matter how much I try, nightmares. I try to break free from this state, thinking of things I meant to do tonight. When I wake up, I'm still not sure if I need do anything at all. I won't disturb the natural flow of the dreams. I accept them as they are, hoping to spot any visions they bring. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tidy shut window and warm blanket. In the morning you found a stool placed by your bed covered with a decent stew of white bread to dip. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy who's covered in mud speaks unusually loud and mentions Reginald has been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing. The innkeeper is closer, sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl of stew or grill. I've lost the mayor. The mayor has teleported. I think the mayor's fine. I leave the square. Let's travel, because it's now morning again. So we travel to this guy when we should have enough. Reginald, I mean. Yes, Reginald is doing great. So far he's not injured. I haven't injured Reginald, except maybe we've done a little bit of scare from being in the heart of the forest, but we haven't injured Reginald. Gather your bags, I'll take you to Howler's Dell. Yeah, let's go to Howler's Dell. The scavenger keeps asking you to watch out for beasts and wraps the sharper scrapes of the iron in his capes. Folding the tent and putting it on your horse takes a while. Neither of you can sit on the large pile of sacks and bundles. There's a long walk ahead of you, but for Reginald it won't be much of a burden. Once you clear the room, you walk away. At first you only hear birds and hooves, and then suddenly a man starts to whisper. Faster, eh? The apes are looking at us. You don't see any proof of that. You move forward, slowed by having to secure the bundles to Reginald's back and carry your own bags. About half an hour, the man asks for a break, even though you share your food with him. He's not fully recovered from the days of hunger, but the further away you get from the ruin, the more cheerful he gets. Mostly speaking about things he needs to buy and how much he hates the damn place. Then the beasts show up. I prepare my axe. 2 draglings, each 5 feet long, approach you from the opposite sides, getting ready to charge at you. They lash their tails and scream, but you know that the panicking and running away is the worst thing you can do. They are fast. They used to chase their prey near the roads, with much larger advantage in an empty field than a forest. Even on your horse, you can barely outrun them. Your best option... Did I save? I forgot to save. I forgot to save. I don't know where I last saved. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We'll get through it. And the best option is now to hold your ground. The scavenger knows it as well. He fires his crossbow, hitting one of the predators right in the skull. It clumsily falls down without another breath. The other one jumps forward, surprisingly silent. The man reaches for a dagger, not much longer than his teeth. Step aside, I've got this. Do myself to defend myself. Yes, do that. You prepare yourself to dodge. Okay, great. But the bee surprises you by suddenly charging its target. It jumps aside when it's only a dozen feet away from you, then attacks the soul who appears to be less prepared. Still, you're faster. Before it sinks its teeth into your companion, you take a wide swing at the dragon's neck. From top to bottom is all it takes. The head flies away and the wetting thug thumps to the ground. The man laughs with shock. Thank ya, he breathes heavily. It was way too fast. Without you, I'd be dead by now. I better load the barrison again, eh? You take a moment to judge your situation. Neither of you is hurt, but a not-so-distant howling reaches your ear. You can't take the dead animals with you. Reginald wouldn't be able to cover it. Much more, however, a few claws could be exchanged for a dragon bone or two. I cut away. Let's hurry. The wolves will catch the blood of the smell soon. So I packed Dragling's claws. The man breathes heavily but doesn't ask for a break. Once you get close to the village, he lets out a sigh of release. That's one smooth view, eh? The guard opens the gate quickly and takes care of the scavenger's bundles, which Reginald welcomes with a nicker. The man answers a few questions and asks if anybody has found his pack bird. After a short conversation, he stretches out loudly and looks at you. Huh? Now, if I didn't have to point my bowser at the door whenever I hear paws at pavement. Once you mention the reward, he gets serious. So, I'll tell you. If you want coin, you'll have to come back tomorrow when my pouch gets heavy. But would prefer to give you the potion that repels Apeman instead. It's useful. Not much in the south, but in the woods. Well, I don't really need money. I've got money. I can always get more money. That's the other thing as well. Save. I have saved now. Everything's fine. Saving is probably not important. No, surviving is important. It's fine. Getting away from Apeman would be nice because... So it's not useful in the south, but I'm going to the north right now. But in the woods it's good, and I'm going to be traveling through the woods a lot more, I think. So it'd be useful to scare away the Apeman more than it would be for the money, honestly, and it sounds like he wants the money. I didn't want to get paid in the first place, because it sounds like he wants the money from before. This is why I didn't want to accept his money, because he sounds like he just wants it for himself, which is fine. So I can take the jar. I'm glad. He unpacks a large jar made of clay. I'm not gonna lie, Roadster, it's a pure troll. Yeah, I knew it. He chuckles. Don't ask me how I got it, eh? If you want to scare off some Apemen, use it before you see them. Trolls eat them all the time, so they stay away from as long as they can. You imagine that you feel the warmth of the jar. Well, I won't miss it. I'll be here for at least a couple of days. You found me if you need me. After my recent camping, I'm going to spend a few hours kissing this nice place. Nice, strong walls. He starts to laugh and walks away, waving goodbye. Nice. You wander through the village. You see a crying boy. Each his name, 3 drunks, youngsters having a conversation. Okay, let's travel to Foggy's. I like how this place is darkened because those guys beat me up. Let's go to the Foggy Lake. The light shines on the water and the empty roads with no herbal breads or travellers in sight. The tavern looks abandoned. There are a few new wares near the crates recently left here prepared to be taken away. What time is it? What's the journal say about these guys' quests? Nice. Bird hunting, 10th day, working here. They want to leave before noon. Well, the birds are still around. Well, it's not noon anymore, is it? So, 5 hours. Let's go to the creeks and tell them about our news. And then there's a way we can go here. Oh. I clicked on it. Okay, I guess we're going here. Oh, it's a bog. Is that all I see? No pitch. You're just standing in my way. You're not used to the scent of the bog, but you aren't expecting them to be so gentle. The humid air makes you think of smoked meat, even though you ride by but a few rotten carcasses and animal droppings. Just as often as you cross tiny meadows of pink flowers, red flowers, and yellow flowers. I said that too many times. The noises tell stories of never-ending wars between the swamps and insects, frogs in their hideouts, snakes lurking amongst the purple grasses, birds patrolling both the waters and the sky, and sirens preparing to strike from beneath the surface. You can't separate the sounds of the living from those of the dying, if they were even different at all. You reach a boulder in the middle of the road, on the edge of the large pool. The road splits here in two directions, but the only smoke you see is from the southeast. Southeast, huh? Wetlands get dangerous an hour. The wetlands got dangerous an hour earlier. What happened here an hour earlier? Wait, does this go back to the bridge? Interesting. I wanted to go here, now it's like 2 hours away. What time is it, and how long do we have? We have 3 hours. Let's have a look around, why not? We'll go back to Foggy's place. Okay, that's nice. The leafless plants resemble tree roots rather than creepers, though they are dark green and sway from side to side gently. Reginald stops without a command, unwilling to approach the nightmarish gate. There's no path in sight. I pick up some branches and throw them at the creepers to see if they're alive. You step amongst the mud and grasses, but some desperate creatures scraped this land clean of wood. Of any wood they could eat. Nice, you guys eating wood. It takes you a few moments before you find any that doesn't fall apart under your touch. Once it hits the creepers, they bend backwards swiftly, then try to reach you with a loud swish. Getting a bit longer as they repeat this action a few times. You tell your mount to step away, but the plants don't chase after you. I examine the water. The dirty ponds are hard to see through. It takes a few moments before you find a stick long enough to poke the water and reach its bottom. Even at the very bank, the water is as deep as your palfrey is tall. It's quite possible none of these conversational spread paths appear here on its own. It could be that the locals carry much of the soil by themselves, connecting the deeper blogs through the other parts of the peninsula. Before you have time to dwell on it, you jump back, dodging the strike of a green salamander. Run quickly as it gives up its pursuit. I can't cross these creepers on my own. What time is it? 3 hours before dusk. Let's see about traveling. Let's go to Foggy's. It's 3 hours before dusk. Let's go to Foggy's. I don't know if any creatures would be able to eat wood. That's my issue. It's like, what creature eats wood? Okay, fine. Pandas eat bamboo. I guess that's wood. Never mind. There are some that eat wood. It's fine. You hear a commotion coming from the lake, drawing your eyes to the air bubbles and water ripples. After a couple of moments, the lake turns a shade of red. The tavern staff is sitting on the steps, enjoying the light and silence as they share a roasted fish. Enter. There's a heavy scent of hard drinks. You spot a closed bottle and a small cup on the table. Boggy is kneeling by the hearth, removing ashes and washing the cauldron. She greets you with a gentle nod. Nod, not nudge. I have some things I'm willing to part with. I may be willing to buy them, love. I get it. She nods. If you have everything you need. Sleeping. Let's sleep here. Because we also get food as well from this place. The moon is bright, so is the night. You recognize the shapes of the wool of the owls and bats. The movements and spot movements on the ground. There are many stories about the moon's origin and purpose, and they are older than any of the documents known in the cities. Those legends are shaped not only by religion but rather by tribes, and they are a part of a deeper conversion, something spreading through the milk of mothers and wet nurses, or through the whispers of the trees and winds. The moon is a powerful spirit who watches and guides humankind whenever we have no sun to protect us. That is why we call it the center eyes, a large rock that will one day fall from the sky, crash everything that's alive, starting a new age of darkness. Okay, for some reason it controls the wet. No, it doesn't. It gathers weaker clouds like a shepherd and shapes the tides. It does shape the tide, but that's not weather. It's a home of strange animals. They are different, but as bright as humans, sometimes visiting the land. The moon is up there. We are here. Who cares what it hides? Let's go with this one. The top one. It's a powerful spirit. It's called the center of the eye. Listen to the grumbles of the annoyed Reginald. It makes you feel uneasy. At least the fires covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning. The small smell coming from the lower floors is not inviting. At least it's not you who has to take care of it. Turns towards you and waits for you to speak. We're not that clean, but let's travel. Time for me to go. Approach the foresters. Hey, have you guys heard of these? Ah, would they? Growls Tuff. Don't waste our time, we don't bother theirs. Ila's eyes are a bit warmer. Afrin already asked us. They ate here on the stairs and then left days ago. They don't want to get in each other's way, so they plan to separate. That's all I know. He sees your look. He spreads his arm in an awkward shrug. They were laughing, eating, all confident and strong. I didn't know they would disappear. You consider his words, then the shorter man starts to snap his fingers. Wait. I heard something. Something about, yeah, they wouldn't go north because of the dark magic in the tunnels. Then that's smart of them, concludes Ellen with a humble smile. Better than nothing, eh? I'm sure it's fine. So they don't go north. I don't know which way is north. That's fine. Let's start this hunt early. Illa claps his hands. Then we're going! Idiot! Take care of the horse. He nods towards a man with one hand. Don't call him an idiot. Ellen pulls proudly a rope and a bag on his shoulder while Tazik shoves everything under his black cloak. They gather by the gate and mock their companion as he toils towards the lake with an empty bucket. I grab whatever's may be of use from my bag and stretch to Reginald's neck. How's the statue? The brook is clearer than ever. Your palfrey happily takes a short break to quench its thirst. The statue to the left itself with its purpose forgotten. A nice thing, isn't it? Ellen thunders behind you. It's older than our home. How'd you say it? Chips in Tazik. Do you have such a thing in Halvan on the roads? Carrying your belongings? On your own is surprisingly tired. You make noises with every turn. We do, but they're old, from before the war. You met a girl once? Was it a good meeting, Wade? Or was it like... was it a funny meeting? Was it a good meeting? He makes a satisfying grin. The war has ruined everything. Hasn't it? All the moments, places, temples, slave owners, poor northerners. After a chuckle, the old large man goes on. Have its sort of statues that used to be there? Well, all sorts. Important figures, heroes of the right tables, like champions, famous vendors. Paid to honor themselves. Smash, how about you put those dragons into building houses for people, for those champions, or taking care of the older folk on those adventures? I bet they're not as important as a cold rock or a half-forgotten road. An absent eye of the statue has nothing to add. So, do you know who it is? Could clear this place. Nah, Ilum is more focused on the fishing break, though the surface of the lake is old. The woman, it's old, and the woman is a stranger. I heard no stories of it, but maybe Mama could. We should move on. Let's not linger, says as he walks down the road. We move forward. The valley seems especially quiet today. A couple of lizards are resting on the rocks, basking with no worries. Ilan points east to a large bird at the edge of the horizon, which freezes in the middle of a step, taking its orange head towards your direction. See, time to get ready. What's the plan? Well, try to avoid the beak, legs, and the temple. He pauses, inspecting the loop at the end of his rope. And don't hurt it. If you don't have to, we don't want it to be a bother. Zeke usually drops his belongings in the middle of the road and jumps in place, rhythmically breathing after he takes off his black cloak and reveals a set of fancy clothes made of black leather. Clothes of a sneaky adventurer. It charges like a moron. Be nimble, that's it. 1 or 2 ropes on the neck and we're halfway home. But don't let it pass you by, eh? Should I also take my rope? I'll stay alive and you'll do the rest. Should I also take my rope? I can throw it at the bird and pull it if it gets behind me. I don't know, friend. Roping isn't easy. Don't be too reckless. We don't have magic on our hands. I have magic. We can also buy another road. We also can't buy another RoadWarden as his companion. So don't make this a bad trade for them. I wait for them to get to the side of the valley, then approach the bird. It's taller than Reginald. The wide breasts and long, thick, partly feathered legs could easily trample your chest. Its thighs are thick and powerful. The pointy beak also could swallow your entire forearm. Your steps are getting slower. I need to calm myself and focus my breath. You put your right hand on your chest, noticing it raising and falling as the air passes through your nose. You can't take your eyes away from the creature's overwhelming position, but as your breath remains deep and slow, you don't feel afraid. Get ready to defend yourself. Just ready to defend yourself. So the bird is surrounded. Soon, the bird is surrounded by your group, and the pond behind it blocks its path of escape. Once it realizes that, it speeds up, charging your direction. I take a good look at the monster. It is wide, tall, with a massive head. Its feathers are torn by wind, and they are vividly brown, white, and creamy. Longer than your hand span, coating the creature like a cape. Its steps are heavy and deliberate. The neck, as long as a limb, keeps moving around, sometimes staring at you, with one but a single black pupil surrounded by bright orange. The long grey beak resembles the leaves of the local plants. The tip is curved, pointy, and in no way smooth. It carries a dozen of grooves, maybe a sign of age, or maybe a trace of 1,000 hunts. It's just a huge duck. Forced to kill it after all. I try to find a weak spot. It waits no more. It raises its head and makes a long, piercing screech which fills the entire valley. The feathers on its neck are shaking, but also waving, moved by the muscles. Then it flaps its wings and lunges forward, still shouting, charging at you with full force. I keep my distance and dodge when necessary. Let's not rope it because I feel like that's stupid. I hold my ground and make a quick dodge, then grapple the bird. Well, we're gonna get hurt today. And we're gonna get hurt today. Oh, thank you for the like, by the way. I should save, shouldn't I? We have quick saved. I should remember to save. Let's do number 2. Then I'll read your comment. I think I've worked with this guy. You think you've worked with this guy? Okay. The giant feet are pounding the ground. With every leap scuffs up clouds of leaves and sand. It lowers its neck, pointing it at you like one would a spear. You do your best to find balance between running to safety, jumping away from its beak, and staying close to the bird's attention. Its reflexes are so quick you can't imagine doing all this while also trying to strike back. Thought so. Yet the bird doesn't find a way to land a hit. Observing you with respect, it turns away, but stops in place when it sees your companion. It looks at you again and prepares for another charge. I hold my ground, make a quick dodge, and grapple it. You wait to duck at the very last moment. In a blink of an eye, you show up at the beast's side, pressing your shell to its large chest, too large for you to wrap your arms around. You try to avoid its massive legs, but the monster turns out to be as confused as you are, making an angry screech and trying to shake you off. The feathers are scratching your chest and getting in your mouth. Nice. Once the bird gets rid of you, it runs east, not aware that it's only helping your companions. As confused as I am, yeah, I'll say. Okay, it landed a hit this time. You do your best to find balance between running to safety, jumping away from the beak, and staying close to holding the bird's attention. The reflexes are so quick that you can't imagine doing this while also trying to strike back. Finally, the beast lands a hit. Your garrison does its job and protects your flesh. Though in pain, you manage to leap away and wait for another charge. That's when the loop lands on the neck, tightening quickly as Tazik shouts cheerfully. The bird remains silent, maybe already out of breath, but then it dashes forward so fast you can't help but step back. It either doesn't understand the dangers involved in moving in this situation, or it doesn't care about it. It runs forward, trying to flee. It makes 2, 5 jumps. You hear Ilan's spear without looking at him. You know that he's let go of the rope. Swear, sorry, not spear. I need to stop the bird before it runs away. I stand in its no. 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 I grab the rope. Let's not do the other ones. That's stupid. I stand in its way so in case and hope it doesn't trample me. Okay. Great. You dash forwards, barely reaching the pulled rope. Then start to roll it in both hands. Plant your feet on a convenient rock. Then pull, feeling the bird on its side, but its strength and weight knocks you down as well. It tries to get up, but you keep pulling, fighting against its muscular legs and neck. Ilan comes to the rescue. It's now 2 against 1. The beast can't make as much as a step. After ゚Secret ropes it with another loop, the battle is over. The bird struggles, trying to keep its head straight until exhausted and falls on the ground. Yes. We did it. Regroup. The bird keeps trying to find a way out, but with little luck. Once it regains a bit of strength, it charges at you, but after 2 leaps it gets stopped by a second rope. It regains its voice, screeching at its tormentors, but there's something more hidden behind its previous threat and anger. Maybe pain, maybe contempt. Damn good job, Ilan thunders. Starts to laugh. You were jumping around like a monkey. You have some legs. Shag me, I missed my throw with the rope, adds ゚Secret loudly, gasping for breath after a long run. Though he keeps smiling with pride, at least the second time worked out, the bird is damned ours. And that's all that matters, eh? Good work, team, I smile. Hey, you deserve your coin! And taps his pouch but doesn't pull out any dragons. Let's move on. The sooner we get back, the better. The other foragers let you know that he's ready. The runner is still far away, held on a tapped rope. I lead them north. I am now dirty. Again, I am dirty. I'm filthy again, guys. We're saving. Quick save. Every few moments the runner tries to get away. Even though it's exhausted, you have to move slowly, paying attention to its steps. The foragers seem to know what they're doing, and at no point you feel threatened by the creature. You keep looking around, but the other beasts seem to stay away. At one point you notice a blue fox among the starter grasses, but it only observes you in silence, standing on all paws as if it's ready to run away. Your anxious companions fall silent, but you keep moving forward. In the middle of your journey you think about Reginald. During your stroll, however, everything seems taller, and the creature you pass feels more real, as if they're no longer just shadows for you to leave behind. I feel vulnerable, as if I am inviting predators to chase after me. What matters even more is I don't have most of my stuff. What? Being on the road without it feels lonely. Yeah, being on the road without Reginald feels lonely. I miss Reginald. He's my only companion in this world. He's my only companion, and I kind of miss him. I like having companions. Even though I end up with like 5 horses, and I think Skyrim I ended up with 5 horses. It's so weird. Oh, 6 likes. Thanks, guys. You got feathers in your dirty mouth. No, the feathers made my mouth dirty. I pretty much ate feathers for breakfast. It's fine. Or afternoon tea. Foggy observes you from the top of the stairs, with a hand resting on her stomach. Well done, dears. She grins at the sight of the runner. Tether it closer to the water, love. She looks at you. Be nice and head to the creeks today or tomorrow, will ya? Tell Ephraim we're coming and to give you a bone for the message. She glances at the man with one hand, as he scolds at the beast before she enters the door. She smiles at her son. Once you're done, wash your hands, come for dinner, tell me everything. Tethering the creature to the beam takes you a few minutes. Iran gasping for air, leaning on his knees, while ゚Secret keeps his posture straight. His red face betrays him. Well, says the tall man, have your dragons here. Thanks for your work, friend. The ringed bones are covered with his sweat. Reginald is napping. We need to go back to that tree, but let's travel to the creeks. How far is the tree? 4 hours away. Let's go to the creeks first. Ahan and Ephraim are on the bridge discussing something as they look at the flowing clear stream. They welcome you politely, ask you about your day. I have some news. I helped the boys from Foggy's catch a large bird that will be brought here soon. While you try to stay to the point, Afrin is full of energy. He asks about every detail, from the animal's size to the way it acts in combat. Your brief answers are met with shouts, echoes by the silent bouncing of the wolf head. It was a brave endeavor. I'm glad they didn't try it without you. Afrin glances for the hunter to drop it. Thank you for giving us time to prepare. Was I told to ask for a dragon bone? I don't remember. How many dragon bones do I have? I have 12. I don't need it. You guys keep it. Yep, we did good. Avron praises your bravery and lumps away, apparently to prepare the drag pen. Alpha watches him with a smile and chuckles after the wolf head bounces so much it lands on his back. He then invites you to follow him to his workstation. He freezes, puts away his tools, and looks at you with wide eyes. Wait for a bit, will you? Without waiting for your response, he springs up, knocks down a few planks as he lurches away, asking his neighbors to call the entire tribe. People surround you, asking what's going on. Once the news spreads, you answer a dozen questions, though most of what you have to say could be summed up with, I'm not sure. Aside from their worried faces, there are more pragmatic ones. Hunters mention they won't be able to deliver their autumn pelts, while one of the farmers wonders about her cousin. She was always so piteous, she says, with an accent you remember from old Pagus. May the right reward her prayers, or else. After some time, the crowd pays you little attention, and Alfred leads you back to his workshop. They and I will discuss this later, he says with an absent voice, then sits down and glares at his neighbors. About the eastern roads, did you face troubles? There was a big spider at the hunter's cabin. It's gone now. He observes your cheeks and hands and smiles. I'm glad to see you're fine, friend. How's the cabin doing? You answer a few times and he stretches his arms, then puts his hand on the back of his head. His eyes are absent. So, it will be an easy repair, maybe a few logs to switch. The roof won't do much good anymore. It takes your pronounced grunt for him to blink a few times and raise the lid of the case. One for the news, he pulls the first dragon on the table, and another one next to it, and this for taking care of the beast. It's not a fair price, but I let it go. Glad to see you didn't idle around, RoadWarden. Let me know if there's anything else. He reaches. Anything else? Let's ask. He could just say no, so we'll ask. He grabs the rod, looks at it curiously. I wouldn't call her a friend exactly. You'd do better selling this. Swinging it left and right like a club. He tells you to wait. It can't be my decision. I'm going to ask the others, at least a few of them. You rest at the table, observing how the man approaches various souls and exchanges a few words with them. It takes him so long you manage to get bored. Enough to indulge a little girl who likes to pet Reginald. The man returns without the rod. Well, my tribe calls you a fair soul. He smiles and wipes the sweat from his forehead. He was so worried about that. We'll put it at the watchtower. There aren't that many birds that would steal the size of that. Okay. Anything else I was supposed to do here? Is that it? I was gonna talk. I will see you later. Who do I have to go report for the hunters? That's done. I'm slowly getting it all done, which is nice. So 5 left. I need to find Dolman. I don't remember where Dolman is, and I don't think I found Dolman yet. Oh, western and southern roads. Okay, I haven't done the southern road yet. Has no issue. Eats magic. I need to go down that way. I don't know where Dolman is, so I'll have to keep looking around for that. Oh, Afran. Okay. Alfred. Let's do a hard save instead of like a quick save. Let's go to the hunter. He's in the yard just next to the gate, practicing his steps and swings while holding a blunt club. As you get closer, he spares you a polite smile. Good to see you in one piece, traveller. About the hunters. Any good news? Something bad happened. He interrupts your tale many times, but having little knowledge to spare, you can't justify his curiosity. So you really didn't know what happened, just that their shell was in the woods. He gives you a long look, then finally nods. I take the earring. He observes it a few moments, then knocks out a large sigh. So you did. They made this when they were but a little kid. They told me once they had a child, they would never wear such an ugly thing. Their words. He lowers his fist, then looks towards the entrance of the village. I mean, it's not such bad trinket. It's elegant. One bit of bad news, isn't it, eh? Maybe the others are fine. So if you find anything. He glances at the pigeons that have been sitting nearby and moves his hand towards his obsidian club. What do you think about the roads running through the heart of the forest? I know to avoid it. Blood is there. Seeing that you're waiting for a longer tale, he adjusts his heavy cloak, spending a good minute to make sure that you understand it's a dangerous place. You do better riding around it. The northern roads are safer, he concludes. After you insist that any guidance would be of use, he scratches his wolf head. I've heard from a friend that Gone's moving there. They're a small beast folk, you know. He moves an open hand to his hip, portrays the height. They'd threaten you until you give them some meat, and that's all they eat. No fruit. No, I don't know. The bones. But there's fright tape that scares me the most. There's an entire family of them. Trust me, you'll never hear the most terrible screams of a human anywhere else in the tree grounds. Run as fast as you can. Don't seek it. Certainly don't fight it. Just ride as fast as you can. I walk away. Have good hunting. Let's travel because we're not too late. So I still need to find Dolman, and I don't know where Dolman is, and I need to give magic to the tree, but that's going to take 5 hours, and it's no point in me going there when I have 9 hours until dark. We've got to check my, That's okay. I'm not clean, I'm dirty as. Dolman is Southern Roads East. Oh, wait. So, Southeast Crossroads. Thank you, Aid. I don't know. I'll see. Hold on. That's the Southern Crossroads to the east. So it's down there. He's down there. Okay. Is that a golem? A secured residence. A small but luxurious human for some reason spared. But oh yeah, that's the enchantress. Okay. She has a giant golem. That's the enchantress. That's gonna take me a few hours. Let's go. We have to head down this way anyway. Let's go to the Beholder. A hold 3 hours. Approach the altar. Offer my magic power. Give it all I have. Grows again. Try something else. Make an offering. What's the stone called again? Oh, dragon's paw. Clean could be worth something. I need to clean it, okay? I have food rations. I have wild plants though, and I have spirit rock. A spirit rock. Okay, do I try to give it that? Save. Return. Spirit rock. You lose a spirit rock. As soon as you light on the stone slab, the pebble hisses for less than a single breath and shatters into a dozen tiny rocks, not much larger than a grain of sand. The tree greets your offering with moving and stretching its branches. Wait, a fruit appeared? I approached the weird fruit that has suddenly appeared. It appeared in a couple of moments, transforming from a small button-sized spear into a large fruit. While its shape and size resembles an apple, it's also pale. Entwined with the whites and greys of bone, it's divided into a number of slices, like an expensive toy made of marble. The tree is now larger, taller, but becomes silent once motionless, states in its hunger. Your farewell gift is waiting for you. Pardon? I spend an hour or so making the tools that will allow me to pick from where I am. You look for long branches in the required shapes. At first you make a curved hook, then a net-like piece of cloth spread between two sub-branches. The plan is simple. Pull the fruit with the former, then catch it with the latter. You practice it with an imaginary branch a couple of times until you're ready. All it takes is a single pull. It's hard like bone, smooth like polished granite, just as cold. You look at the tree, nothing grabs your attention. Quest complete. Swamp altar. You don't see any creatures or humans. Swamp altar has been completed. We're just doing quests, I think, and trying not to die. South Crossroads. Thanks, Wade. I'll do that in the morning. Let's see, where am I taking this tree to? And heal the plague. So, I got the seed. I should report to the druid. The druid from the old cave told me from tree eats magic, so... Two hours. How long is it going to take me to get there? 15 minutes. We'll go there. A family of deers you meet some days ago have returned to the pond, this time accompanied by a few more members of the pack. One buck towers over all the others, with antlers as large as your palfrey. It takes a few steps towards you, shakes its head. You better stay where you are. You observe their curious, lazy glances, while the adults quench their thirst. The young ones playing in the tall grasses or basking in the middle of the road. It takes quite a few moments before the large beast orders the others to head back into the wood. It bellows like a falling boulder. I wait a few minutes patiently. You hear the chilling roar of a dragon from the mountain. At least there's no avalanche. The old man is resting on the bench. He welcomes you with a resigned sigh. What do you need, traveler? Oh. What do you need, traveler? I have the fruit you told me about. Have hunters of the old creek visit you? Here, the opposite side of the peninsula. Most people do not have a beast to carry items for miles, stranger. His playful tone suddenly gets worried. Or do they struggle with meats get so grim that they even consider such a dangerous trip? He takes a breath, breathes and leans back. I cannot force beasts to jump over one's blade, and the forest not trust me anymore. The enchantress has asked me to place these rods in high places across the peninsula. I should be done in about half an hour. He observes the rod for a moment, then closes his eyes and bites it gently. Bites it. Then he returns it. He seems unconvinced. I sense a spirit in it, but I am not the one who tells who's behind it. How can I be sure? You explain what you know about the nature of the woods, but change the topic to the enchantress herself. After minutes pass, he accepts that you indeed know her. Fine. I'll ask for her story next time I see her. Go away from the spring and don't break your neck. Even a child could get to the highest parts of such a rigid cliff, though you have no reason to expect all those loose rocks can be cleared. I take my armor off and put away my weapons and bags. The bronze rod is attached to your back by a cord. As you place your feet and hands on the rock, you realize you have to move slowly, maintaining your balance and pushing away any small, large pebbles. Make sure that the walls don't crumble under your feet. The rocks are coarse, supporting your grip, and you rarely find a sharp spot. The climb resembles a nice summer walk, though your muscles are not prepared for such a movement. You find the perfect spot, a large crack between two massive rocks. You put the rod to board it just a bit, then pushing it halfway and fill the gap with a rag. Doing it with one hand makes you dizzy, but not for long. You take a short break to catch your breath. Climbing down is easy, then you struggle to recall exactly where you have placed your limbs. The sun eases your tension. After a few moments, you land on the soft grass and dusts off your hands. Once again, you prepare your equipment. The druid gives the shining rod a haughty look. What can you tell me about the druids? He strokes his beard gently. I will not share our past with stranger. We are people of Halliston and lands around it. Doesn't trust me. Fine. I have the fruit you told me about. He straightens up. Oh, savior. Sacrifice the seed to help others. Okay. Does that mean I could have used the seed for something else? I didn't know. I'm just doing my job. Okay, he straightens up and takes the seed gently, then carries it to a cave. When he returns, he bows his head to you. I'm astounded, traveller, I am. It takes a lot, but we're almost done with it. Return to me once you're ready to take me to Old Pagus and back. But no later than early afternoon. I may help us push away the wild animals, but I am too weak to protect us from the creatures of the night. We may need even 6 hours. Okay. Seek shelter. Where's in here? Travel. Ride through the main gate and dismount swiftly. Some of the locals greet you politely, but they keep your distance. After you notice your own smell, the dirt on your clothes, you no longer wonder why. Here you go. I let him work in peace. We go to the main square. Oh, we got the scavenger sitting there. Oh, nice. The scavenger is sitting on a bench near the creek bank, apparently napping. He winks at you and he catches your glance. I go to the scavenger. Hey, Roadster, need anything? How are things? It's not bad here. Not bad at all. They brought what I could sell. I'd now have plans to... I now have to plan what to do next. I don't care. I'll wait for a couple of days, craft some things, rest from the forest, then I'll leave when I leave. He scratches his cheek and beard, finally sighing. But I do feel like I've eaten chocolate. When I landed here, I had my pile of bundles and trinkets, and now I'm standing with nothing. Again. I should have listened to the warnings. This land belongs to no man. You must understand, you roaster. People ask you for help. They don't think you'd steal from them. Then when they're in their beds, he pats his bag. It's not the same when you're a drifter. They don't ask me to stay to marry their kids or to help them with their harvest. Just ask if I plan to pay for the room or buy stuff. You talk for quite some time, though it's difficult to uncover the details hidden in his tale. He claims he and his pack horse came by boat, about which he refuses to speak. He landed just next to Gal Rocks, a large fishing village to the north shores. People there were irritable and unwilling to chat idly with him, but opened their mouths after he helped them at the smokehouse. On sunny days, the locals hunted on the shores. When it got dark, they hid behind the walls, gutting the fish. And when the weather goes too bad, they boil water for salt and put the fish in it, then hop to the barrels. Though I don't know, they don't have many trees around. Then they sell the meat to the villagers and, well, you know, places. He clears his throat for the crops. I let him continue. I tell you to stay away from the white marshes, though no shell told me why. I joined a group of fish traders who were going to Old Pagus and a monastery, but I hate the place. Bah, everybody does, he shrugs. I traded there for a bit. The village was cold. They spend days praying, talking on and on about their duties. They are grey like ashworms. I left at dawn, me and my bird, and that wasn't a mistake. He was attacked by a short bear-like creature. He tried to run away, but following his bird was a bad idea. He fell over in a thicket, so the monster had time to get to him. I hit it with a bolt. It wasn't enough. I kicked at it. It bit my leg. Tore off my flesh away. I almost dozed off from the pain. But yeah, can't believe it. The lazy bird came back and charged it right with its beak. His dagger was enough to get through the surprise and was belly. It ran away. The bird was patient. It let me lean on it. My embarrassment scared the griffins away, and we got to Howler's That's where I found the elder. They agreed to heal me, but only for coin. They told me it's an exception. After a few questions, you're sure that by the elders he means the local druids, held by the village in such great esteem. They don't want to talk with me, not a whole lot, I said. His tone is filled with mockery. You hear that? I spent time with Thalos. At least she wasn't so boring. So why did you leave Howler's Den alone? It wasn't that smart to move to Vrune all by yourself. Ha! You should tell. I shouldn't tell. I shouldn't tell, and I wouldn't. You already know what you need to. I can tell you stories from the days, but who cares, he chuckles. I'm just doing my own thing, moving from wall to wall, sleeping where they let me, selling what I can, buying what I need, saving dragons for another day. I used to be a sailor. People would call me Parthius, because of, he points at the burned skin on his forehead. But I'm not to push a plunge or patch ship sail all day long. I don't care if it's a corpse eating my bone one day. I'd rather be free for a few years than cage myself in fear for decades. And I'm damn good at staying safe, or rather I was before I landed in this place. He touches a scar on his face. I haven't gotten one of these in years, but it didn't take 2 weeks and I almost lost my legs. I spent all my coin in Howler's Dell for the Elder's magic. Not the first time I've had an empty pocket, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no coin waiting here. Once I pushed all the iron to locals, I'm heading south. Though I won't ride alone. I'm not making that mistake again. I heard no ships could land on this coast. He's probably lying. I don't know. Well, he tilts his head to the right and gives you a distrustful look. But you're patient and take your time. You can get to Gal Rocks from the sea in a light boat or a raft or something that can avoid the rocky teeth. Sure, no hope for ships or any trade, but with some help you could do it. Don't tell anyone I told you that. His tone gets significantly colder. It's not something people should talk about. I know, I have some questions. Hey, go ahead. Looking for another RoadWarden man known as Ariston. I've never met him. But I'm sure I hear this name many times. He vanished long ago before I got to the coast. At first people were asking about him. Now they think he's dead. I return to the main square. Time is it? 15 minutes before sleep. Nice. Day 11. Let's see. We got money. Let's do this and get our magicka back. So much talking, oh my word. He'll tell you more about the druids once you give him the seed. Yeah, he'll tell me more about it once I help him out more. That seems to be everybody's common trait in this world. Which makes me wonder what happened in order for them to all like separate themselves from each other. But it still sounds like they're worried about each other. The Creek people worried about old Pagus because they've got relations over there. So maybe they just don't go out enough to hear news. It'd definitely benefit from them to have somebody who could travel the roads, honestly. You'll have chosen well, Fox. Thank you, Wade. Thank you. The rain once again hits the ground, interrupting your sleep. Another day of muddy rains. That's not good. I have to take that guy around. Okay, the days are getting shorter. Okay, great. So winter's coming. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool placed by your bed, covered with a decent stew, white bread to dip. Once you get dressed, you go downstairs. I've read this already. We will go... Oh, we know his name now. Parthius is sitting on a stool using his knife to turn a log of wood into a new cup. Nice. Let's travel. I leave the square. I leave the entire village. Let's go to... He wants to go here, which is going to be long already, so we might as well go. Not waste any time. The old man, just to clarify, yes. Yes. Don't worry, I was able to pick up you were talking about the old man. Not Pallius. It's okay. Yes, the old man. He might be able to tell me something about the druids, that's right. I'm going to guess he's going to tell me other things as well. But I kind of want him to help old Pagus and get that sorted out. You want stew? You can make some stew. Find some nice lamb or beef. Let it simmer in a pot. Add your spices and your vegetables. Find some white bread, some good white bread. Now sourdough goes well with stew. Might be a bit hot though. Might be a little hot. You can have some cold stew. Maybe cold stew might work better. Is cold stew a thing? I think it's cold soup, is it not? 2 indexes, a male and a female, are lying on the rocky mountainside. A gentle wind is brushing their hair. The old man is sitting on a wooden stool between the garden beds, weeding and tearing, and the torn plants are resting in a small basket. What do you need, traveller? We're afraid to take you to old Pagus. Without a word, he walks through the metal doors and leaves you alone for a few minutes. Upon his return, he holds a red staff and a linen bag. He gives it to you. I'm old. You'll carry it. He states the matter-of-factly. He changed into a similar pants and a tunic, but they're green, blue, and reds are lively. You don't see any scratches or patches. Still, he looks like an old comrade, not a priest. As you lead Reginald down the path, there is much as an opportunity to speak with the old druid. He looks around, observes the plants, the skies, but hardly ever glances towards you, and never for long enough for a chance for you to read the lips. I follow him north. I should save. We quick save. The locals drop their tools and head to the roads, observing your approach anxiously. Bowing to the elder, the commotion spreads to the other side of the walls as the villagers call their friends and families to gather around. Behind the open gates, you're welcomed by a tunnel of onlookers. The druid raises his hand and waves to nobody in particular. He moves forward silently, not interested in what he sees. Once you get to the fruit-bearing trees, you turn right. Crossing the bridge, it's not easy for an old man, but he doesn't ask anybody to hold him, instead putting his weight on the staff and taking slow steps forward. The welcoming committee awaits you on the islet. The druids are gathered on one side, or here the druids are, while a group of elders are on the other. And the Talos standing in your way. Oh, she's standing in the way. Right before the second bridge. When you reach her, there's a long silence. I let them play out their game. The mayor welcomes the elder with a nod. We're honored to see your arrival. Forest Speaker, I hope you do not want us to leave already. She puts her right hand on her chest, chillingly. There's no trace of a city accent. The elder's tone is both firm and polite. I am not here. If there had been another path I could take, I would. He looks around, observing the nearby faces. I am glad to see you in good health. This place does not need me. No thanks to this stranger, I could reach this place. I could reach the people in great misfortune. Good day. The pale leader of the druids steps forward, with a finger clenched around her staff. Beholder has awoken. Our people have the right to its seed. You're robbing us of a fruit which we've been waiting since spring. Her cadence is indisturbable from her companions. You notice their staffs have identical lengths. I don't intervene. The elder responds without looking in her directions. To think you would dare to claim our holy totem as your belonging. Your soul is marked with corruption. He points at her with his staff, and his hand is shaking. 'Tis what the RoadWarden who awoken the swamp spirit through the true sacrifice, something that your soft beds and colourful clothes have made you forgot about. The man sounds like a disappointed teacher. Then you realize he has heard the druid's voices without looking at her lips. You who believe you deserve the seed do not understand who you are, how lost you are. He moves his staff around and points at the various faces. He wants to move forward, but the mayor puts her hand on her side. In her eyes you see an unfamiliar grimace of fear. You have already eaten the seed once, O Speaker. Do not make us use force. Oh, brothers, they don't like each other. Our stars measure the same as you size. Okay. So he's eaten it before. He's had a seed before. But these guys are sick over here. You guys are like flourishing. He knows what he's doing. I'll just let him speak, because these guys are flourishing. Like, I thought the people in the Pelt of the North were bad. These guys are even worse. They're flourishing. The old Pagus people are suffering from a cold. Like, this guy is the only guy who's ever come up with, I don't know. After this, we'll go to old Dolman. And sorry, Dolman, I don't know if you're old, but I just called you old. Dolman's probably a place. It's not a person. Anyway, a good minute passes, but before the elders speak again, my wife welcomes you to this world, Phallus. I must vote myself to use the seed to heal your weakened bones. I can't believe you have fallen so far. Our journey illuminates, no doubt, but you're but a bargain. You could only hear his sigh. Enough of this. Be gone. He doesn't wait any longer. He steps forward and the mare gets out of your way, observing the two of you with fear and fury. You cross the bridge, open the gates. The man returns to silence. His back is bowed, his shoulders dropped. He doesn't seem to have enjoyed that. He seems like he knows him, so he helped her before, and now, yeah, something's going on. I don't think she likes me anymore, which is fine. The man stops near the clearing and leans his staff, contemplating the clearing silently. When I was but a brat, not a board was trimmed without a great purpose, not only for humans, but both the trees and the land. Pinching the spirits was a misdeed. He turns to you, observing your lips. I've heard tales of the great sages from before the days of the Empire, who restored such lands with a single spell, brought them back to life, and helped us find forgiveness, the right path. Where are those sages now? Those are just stories. He glances at the dead trees, made up from those who dreamed of salvation. But we do not know what they brought to be saved from. Who thinks there's a balm that will cure a soul? The fate itself. He resumes his walk. What? Made up by those who dream of salvation. They do not know what they need to be saved from. Who thinks there's a balm? Ah, okay. I follow him. I had to reread that. I got so confused reading that in his accent. Okay, 9 hours left. The hills are bright and colourful. The tall grasses and flowers dance with the wind, unaware of the countless grasshoppers, butterflies, mice that rummage and prey amongst them. The dark green birds are circling above the walls of cliffs, arguing in tongues unknown to humans. With every breath you take in the summer, in its dusk, the drying grass and the promise of rainfall, as well as the pinching smoke coming from the funeral pyres set at the center of the village, cutting the horizon like a column weaved from the shadows. As time goes on, the old man's pace slows, observing the land around you with great interest. His keen eyes stop on trees, bushes, and flowers, though it's the crops on the palfrey that make him stop for a bit. After a moment or two, he speaks. The plants want to fall. They need no more than 2 rains. The farmers need to come out right after dawn. He doesn't look at your lips, just turns around and approaches a second ascent, once again slowing down to climb it without your help. I tether to the fence and glaze into the meadow. The man waits at the gate, reaches out to you. You give him the bag that he gave you back at his shelter. You do not have to stay away. You do not have to stay away. It would not be pleasant, he sighs. I'll come out soon, and we'll leave this place right away. The village may be cured, but that does not mean the plague is cleansed. We still could be infected. He raises his red staff and uses it to knock on the gate. You don't wait long for the dark-eyed woman to open the peephole. This time there are not that many people around her. Oh dear. Let me in, says the druid. The peephole closes right away. After a few loud moments of moving wood bars, the gate slowly opens. You have a couple of moments to look around. The few buildings you notice are unlike anything you have seen in the Providence, made of materials that resemble rocks' faces, seen on this very hill with tiled roofs and stone walls. The gate closes gently. I walk away to have a better look. Stay near the gate. You hear footsteps, voices, crying, heavy objects that are moved around. For a couple of moments everything's calm, but then a sudden wind strikes you, pushing you away from the wall. Your skin tingles and your shell covers. Your stomach hurts. You want to spit out something that you can't comprehend, like a dragon with a breath of persistence. The feeling stops suddenly. You wipe the sweat from your forehead, feeling a weird relaxation in your limbs. Something you'd feel after a long training or a day of hard work. You take a breath, and the wood, the stone, the smoke, the ground, the grass sparks a new sensation in your nose. Some sort of sharpness you haven't perceived before. I regain focus over my magic. Only now do you notice the gate is open. The old man is right next to you. Why? Kneeling, leaning forward, breathing heavily, he opens his bag, pulls out the weird fruit you gave him. With shaky hands, he detaches the first slice of its skin, but before you could take a good look at it, it turns into a grey powder and slips through the man's fingers. The rest of the fruit follows its example, covering the soil with an ash-like dust. The thing that resembles yet another fruit, or a cherry-sized seed levitating in the middle of the flora, rib cage. The man observes it for a few breaths, then reaches for it with 2 fingers, squeezing it softly and putting it in his mouth. So it recharges his magicka then, I'm going to guess. During the next moment, he stands up, grins at you, wipes dust off his knees, takes a few steps forwards, with each turned into a dance-like skip. Then he descends down the hill without a word. You hear the joyful cry of the villagers, their hysterical laughter and names screamed at the sky. Welcome those that have awoken after a long dream. You prepare your horse before the druid. For the first hour, the elder swings his staff around like a conjurer in the marketplace, and hums to himself like a drunkard. He walks, being pace remains steady. As time goes on, this fizzled state fades out. At first, he returns to using his staff, then gives you his bag. He looks down, hobbling, and finally asks you for help. I get him in the saddle. Oh dear. Mum's spaghetti. Mum's spaghetti indeed. What's wrong with Mum's spaghetti? Why are we bringing up spaghetti now, Wade? Why are we bringing up spaghetti? Is there a reference to something? I'm gonna have to take that. You help the man dismount, realizing how light he actually is. Holding your shoulders, he points at the bench near the spring. You help him sit down and place his staff and bag nearby. He's smiling, covered by sunbeams, stretching out his leg, leaning back to rest on the warm rocks. We've done a good job, he says quietly but clearly. Now, all we need to do is hope they'll stop cutting down the trees before the wild creatures push them into the sea. After a moment, he opens his eyes and looks at your lips. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you. 'Tis one of those strange things that makes us different from so many creatures. We may not belong to a single pack, yet we've joined our strengths, pursued the same goals. He looks at his small garden. Saved the lives of others just because we could. Our souls do make me wonder. He sighs. I want to get some sleep. If you need anything before you leave, now's the time. Tell me about the druids. He strokes his beard gently. The forest guides us. Now we share its wisdom with the tribes. We and they ought to stay humble, take from the land what is needed instead of what is wanted, not because of it's something we believe in, but because it's something that protects us from the wrath of the herds. To stay safe, one needs to know how to be patient, take reassurance into their hearts, and not to make the beasts listen to us. We keep the animals healthy, teach them not to approach our homes, nor travelers. I know, sounds reasonable. He observes your lips. Do you need anything else? Looking for a job. I believe your goodwill. I'm not in need of your help. He gestures for you to follow him to the pond. I'm in need of your good help. 'Tis not a dangerous task, but one I could not complete by myself. No, my spells are not enough to ask animals to fetch for me. He speaks slowly. At the northern coast you'll find Gal Rocks, a village of fishers. One of them is in my debts. I want you to collect what's mine. I want you to ask him about this debt, but he doesn't look at you. He points at a shiny large fish with an orange and golden scales that swims just nearby. This generous creature is an emperor's carp, one of the few creatures that thrives both in the seas and the lakes. I wait for him to look at me. You don't know where the man found the large worm that he has now dropped in the water, feeding his pet. Go to that place and find Photius. He is a young father, an ocean folk with scars on his neck, which he will not hide. Ask him for a male emperor's cup, but be aware I need it alive so it can mate with the one I have. He stands up and approaches you. I do no sleep on dragon bones, but there's magic in my blood. I'll use some of it to heal your wounds, and though more than once, that's fair. I agree. I'm glad. The Emperor's carp, we have kept our waters clean from leeches, at least as much as it can. One more will help us greatly. I wonder what his name is. So it says I could change his name. Well, the druids know him. An old Paga seems to know him. People seem to know who he is, and I don't understand who he is, so we need to figure that out. Oh, yeah. Oh, you speaking like them might help. Oh, you were feeling a little piqued by the gates, vomiting on the sweat already. Chat lags. Yes. Hoping the best for the old man. I do too. I wonder who he is, because I don't think he's Astron, because Astron wasn't a mage. He was a fighter. Or an archer, he's one of those two. But he's not Astron, so he's not. He might be related to the Enchantress, because they seem to know each other, because he wants to go meet her again, and she comes over here to meet him. So, after I've done the quest with the Enchantress, I might go and ask her about the old man, because she seems to know him, and that might help. I don't think the people in the monastery will know him. He sounds like a pagan. He sounds like a pagan, I believe. So, and the other guys are like rites and things. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. There's a lot of mystery in this land, which is interesting. But yes, I hope for the best for the old guy. I want to know what happened to the village in the east. And not willing to tell you that, he raises his chin and beard shakes. The awful tale ought to be kept in the past for the sake of the living. Not willing to tell me about silage. I don't know the fish he's asked for. I'm not allowed to enter. Since you know so much about it, could you predict the weather for me? If it's so easy, why could not every soul learn to read the weather? His harsh gaze shifts into a amused smile. But it would be that not H's have taught me a few tricks. It takes him a few minutes to study the clouds, listens to the wind and touch the rocks. Observing the flight of the birds and insects, in the end he crouches with a ability that's surprising for his age, speaks out loud a few words in the old script, drawing a vague symbol on the ground with a finger, then almost violently grasping the soil. He stands up, blows into his fist, spreading its contents in front of him. Then he nods towards you. A cold day awaits us, but not a harsh one. Okay. So I'm gonna guess winter is coming. It sounds like winter's coming, because I think I came here in spring. Wait, no, that doesn't work right. Spring, summer, unless it's backwards. I don't know how seasons work in this world. I might need help. Summer, spring. I'm not good at seasons. I'm better with time zones. Summer, spring, fall, winter. Okay. It's the same. It's fine. Let's travel. How many muddy roads are slowing me down, so that takes longer to travel. 5 hours before dusk. Let's not explore anything new. I know we want to go there. We can go find some shelter. How about that? Won't get here before nightfall. Gonna wait a little bit for those guys to come back to existence. I'm at the elders. Okay. They called him the elder, didn't they? Let's go down to Pelt of the North. What else do we have to do? Because we have to go to Galrogs and we're going down to Dolmen. That's not where I wanted to click. Let's go to Dolmen and then we'll see how much time we have left to do the other things. I've done quests. I've actually done something. I also need to look for the missing hunters as well. So 2 more of them. I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for a lady. So, and then this one as well, which needs to get done because. Do you have a time limit? Druid from the cave has asked me to travel, so he's calling him a druid now. So I'll go back to there when I can, probably after I've done a loop. I also want to find the white marshes, which I'm gonna guess is in the middle of the forest. So I have 4 to place, and I've got to place one of the white marshes. Okay. So let's go down to Pelt of the North, and we'll take the southern crossroads. We'll go to the east, and we will start looking for Dolmen. So let's do that. Start traveling. Probably goes the other way. Yes, probably goes the other way. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Yes. Very true, very true. No, yours is right. I think the months are just different because you guys are heading into summer right now. So you guys are heading into summer, so it's spring right now because you guys have Easter in spring. We have Easter in autumn, and then we have Halloween in spring. It's backwards over here. Having Halloween in autumn sounds a lot better, honestly. Okay. Guard ignores your arrival as you ride in. The hunters are by the well, arguing with each other. At this hour, the thing would be closed. Let's sleep. Hardly any light reaches the ground through the clouded skies. The deep night, as some people call it, so dark you can't see the fingertips of your extended hand. You try to look outside, but to no avail. Even the predators spend the next few hours hidden, unsure what surrounds their shelters or hideouts. Not all of them, though. You hear cheerful howling coming from the heart of the forest. Hunt queen, or maybe a hunt lord, have already captured its next meal. I should stay safe in such a well-guarded stronghold, but just in case, I crawled to my window and make sure it's closed. In the morning. He's left me some oatmeal with milk, berries, nuts, and honeys. That sounds like a good breakfast. See what he said. He sighs and puts his muscles to his head, and he asks you about the state of the village and the symptoms you know of. After a short conversation, he observes the fire. I was planning to get in touch with some cone starters. Thank you for bringing this news. Let's hope they can make it until spring. Say spring. It makes me think it's winter's coming up because it's starting to rain a lot more. How much money do I have? Do I need any supplies? I might need some rations. Let's save and get some rations. Yeah, we'll save there. Return. Do you show me your wares? Let's get 3 rations. Go back. Oh, the thing's cheaper now. It was 30 instead of 32. That's nice. I need to go outside. Let's travel and we'll go see if we can find Dolman. We're skipping spring this year and it's just summer. It's just summer, eh? Wow. Makes me wonder what the weather's doing then with the turns of the seasons. Because for us over here, the creatures in the forest are making noises. For us over here, it looks like it's going to be a wet winter, which is good. It means we're able to have a light summer next year, hopefully. Which is better for bushfire season. But I'm sad you guys are just going into summer and no spring. Hopefully you will have a wet winter as well next year. Or at the end of this year you'll have a wet winter. You can get all that grass back. I need to get a stool where this food magically appears. Oh yes, it's coming from the berries outside with the snakes in them. The snakes with in the berry bushes. With cream, we've already got milk though. Oh no, with cream sounds too extra. You have a sweet tooth, Wade. A very high sweet tooth. The curved road east is overgrown. Reginald trots when it has a chance, but more often it walks, forced to jump over large branches blocking the path. The nearby lake is surrounded by thirsty wildlife. I observe the dark forest ready to reach if something jumps. Oh, I remember this. We saw this from the demo. Yeah, there's an emblem there. A couple of stone slabs, not like the bridge you saw in the northeast, was turned into a hut-like shape. One of the ancient chapels raised by the preacher of the United Church in the day of a few soldiers and even fewer shelters. The dolmen proved to be quite durable. Oh, we found the dolmens. This is the dolmens. Found to be quite durable through the conditions they offered were harsh. The entrance was barely wide enough to let you walk inside. It was meant to keep large beasts away, including your palfrey. You can't spend the night here. You dismount and look around. Approach the hourglass. It's the most common religious symbol of the city folk. Adopted by the United Church, Orders of Truth, and the majority of the fellowships. It's used in temples during the funeral rites and also to decorate jewelry. The winged hourglass portrays the empathy of life and the rigidity of time. Then possibly they're made of steel, signifying the strength of humankind's determination and innovation. I feel nothing. He's listening to Lee's quietly. enter here, a beam of light gets through the gap between the rocks, but you can hardly see anything. A torch would fill the place with smoke, but a candle would suffice. You wonder how many travelers have sat on the cold rock, observing the entrance and fighting their heavy eyelids. I light up a candle. You unpack the tinder box from your saddle, then place the flint and linen char cloth onto the nearby slab, sticking out right in front of the entrance. Decades ago, the southern invasions, people used fire starters made of thick steel, but all you have left is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but enough for a couple of sparks. Sadly, the weak light is hardly enough for you to examine the chamber. The light may be weak, but I'm patient. I look around for clues. You touch your surroundings, bring the candle close enough whenever something catches your attention. Even though a part of the ground is covered with a single massive slab, there are sections free of any flooring. You see soil, small rocks, sand. In one spot you find the remains of charred wood. You notice sticky spots on the walls, parts of it covered with black marks, pictures, possibly letters. I look around. A large part of the wall is covered with engravings. It's difficult to figure out what they're meant to portray, but one picture is obvious to you. A large arrow pointing down. Parts of the writing as well as the nearby wall is covered with soot. I look for something. What are you looking for? Well, question mark. Don't find anything or I don't understand you. What are you looking for, paying attention to? Down. Hole. You try to make a hole somewhere in the ground, but with no luck. Look for something else. Arrow. A large part of the wall's parts. A large arrow pointing down. Okay. Okay. Look at the slab. That's how you write slab. That's not how you write slab. Slab. Okay, I wrote so terribly. Okay, we got the slab. Here we go. Sorry. Oh. Done. Let me pick it up. I'll let you know about the wet winter fox, okay? Why does it rain a lot for you guys? There's a lot of dialogue for lighting a candle. It is, I know. Oh, just because I prefer cream now, I made it. Oh, but... I have a t-shirt with an arrow pointing down says I'm with stupid. Oh. You hardly wear it. Dear, dear. Anyways, thanks for the stream. Are you heading out now, Wade? Hope you have a good rest of your day. You can try to see if you can pick up a candle and get through it a lot faster than I could. Charred wood. Okay, so a part of the floor is littered with the remains of an old campfire, not more than a couple of months old. You see dust, burnt bones, and wood. The wall around the spot, the wall above the spot is covered with soot. Okay, go outside. Reginald is looking. Yep. Okay, Reginald is staring at grass. Let's keep going. Ah, the wagon. A round tree blocks the road. For a wayfarer walking above the branches at the top is not much of an issue. Even Reginald, lead on a rope, could walk around the stump, but a heavy wagon couldn't be moved onwards in one piece, at least not without detaching the mules and unpacking all the wares, moving everything by hand. Cutting a tree into pieces would take hours, even with proper tools. You can't hope to move it with just the muscles that you and your mount have to offer. Spend some time setting up a fish trap. Let's set up a fish trap. You place the basket on the ground, then grab a bowl and start digging. Looking for a few worms, you bait the stick and push it inside the basket, locking it between the sides, then covering the entry with a lid. Trying it together to take a few good moments, but it will be easier later on. You tie the rope to a rock and push it into the river, far enough that it will sink eventually. Who knows how long it will be before something large enough swims inside. Still, it'd be better not to wait for too long, otherwise prey might die of hunger. Yeah, last time I killed the fish. I look around. I investigate the tree stump. You don't find any markings of prey or claw. The top hip high and unnaturally smooth. You could comfortably sit on it. Look at the tree. The leaves are not completely dry. When you break one of the twigs, it still contains water. There are no signs of sickness that you recognize, and the termites and other bugs are still sparse. Beneath the trunk, there's no blood, no abandoned limbs. I look at the bushes. I found an arrow. There are no berries left. Stab it. I wanted those berries. Only broken twigs, fallen trees, and tumbled grass. You notice a pointy arrow made of a human hand. Oh, nice. Great. Souvenir. With a head made of horns and black-orange feathers. You don't know what type of bird would have such feathers. I know of a fish. And you've seen no arrow marks around, not even in the wagon. Western Hill. The rocky wall isn't much of a challenge. The top of the hill is covered with the short grasses and sparse trees. You notice a couple of bushes with great view of the path, just sitting next to the remains of a campfire. Oh, another campfire. Charred wood, ash, bird bones, trampled grass, and a broken earthhorn bottle. You follow the deepest tracks leading to the edge of the soft earth. Someone jumped down, or at least stopped stepping on the grass. I go to the tracks. In the trampled grass, you see two sets of tracks to follow. There are no hooves. The first one is near the destroyed wagon. The wayfarer suddenly stopped. You could see that they made a sharp turn. The second trail is close to the stump tree. Most of the marks were left by flattened cheap boots, not suitable for a long walk, but someone who was wearing heavy, wide heels, disturbing the ground. Somebody's wearing heels? Somebody is wearing heels in this environment? Madness. No, I'll stick around, but I'll hush. Maybe. I don't mind your comments, Wade. You're welcome to make them. All good. And good luck on your work if you are still working as well. Hopefully it's easy for you. You can take a early day off. Have a good Monday instead of a slow, tiresome one. I look at the road. I forgot to read the last bit of that. The road here is already overgrown, faded away, but in no worse shape than other parts of the southeast route. No alternate paths was formed around the blockade. I take another look at the tracks. The second set is closest. Tree stump, most of the markings were left by our heels. Both trails avoid the eastern wilderness. They stick to the main road and lead you north. They could belong to 24 people or more. You follow them for a bit, but lose them once there's no more mud and tree needles to find. I go to the wagon. Sorry, wagon. Double click. The planks are still firm and there's no moistness in the air, but the vehicle needs to be pushed to fall to pieces. Just needs a push to fall to pieces. Like a children's toy with nothing to keep the parts together. There are ways to construct the wagon with just wood, leather, and fibers, but you need to find the hinges, brace, nails, and clamps, which are now all gone. The wheels are missing from their iron rings. You find only one leather bag, empty and moist. You can't estimate how long the tracks are, how deep the tracks are. The ground was harsh, so the wagon's weight wasn't a significant factor. Remember. It only takes 2 steps to disappear into deep water. The rocky banks smell fresh and is filled with the sound of frogs, insects, and birds. It's not a good spot to quench your thirst, and the beds of long kelp pooled by the flow of the river are crowded with fish and 4-legged creatures that you don't recognize. You keep an eye on the land. There are no carcasses in sight, no signs of magic that has been left nearby. Cut down and set up an ambush. You think the wagon was ambushed. Why was the wagon ambushed? It was attacked by monsters. The owner had no time to move, so left it behind. It broke and no. What was originally transported in the wagon? Oh my word, it's judging me for everything. Passengers? No. Food supply. Food supplies? Most belongings, some valuable merchandise. Why would they come over here? They would stay close to the villages, so these two don't make sense. Food supplies. What happened to the original owners? They were killed on the spot. There's no blood. They disappeared. They turned back. Somebody did a sharp turn. They were taken north. You think the tree was cut down to set up some sort of ambush? The cargo which shows spies was attacked and the owners were taken north. Are you sure this most likely happened? Updated for the tree. While you can't be sure of what really happened here, you don't think there's much left for you to find. Let's hope you haven't missed anything. I don't consider washing myself. I think I'm fine. There's the dolmen. So the well's here somewhere. I enter it. Where's the well? I look around. Arrow. Meant to betray, but one image pointing it down. Parts of the words cover. I look for something else. Wow. Ah. So I just had to write the word down. That was great. You stood in a couple of spots and don't hear any direct response. If there's anything below this chapel, it must be under a thick layer of rocks and well, look for something else. And even though there are a few sections free of flooring, what did I need to find? What was the name of the thing? Told me to dig. Okay. So, potion. Secret chamber of dolmen. Merchant gave me a key. Secret chamber. Let's look for a chamber. Return. chamber. Don't find anything you don't understand yet. Great. Dig. Aha! We got somewhere. You look at the ground. You could grab your knife, some light, and dig through a few inches of soil and sand, step by step, finding probably just rocks. But you doubt it's going to be smooth. Let's try it. Let's give it a try. You start where you stand, pushing aside the layers of dirt, disrobing a few colonies of worms. Most interesting area turns out to be hidden beneath the remains of the old campfire. You move all the ash and pieces of wood until you find a well-preserved plank. You dig around, finding a solid trap locked with a steel padlock. I open it with a key. You inspect the key, and after a bit of wiggling, something clicks. The padlock is cold, dirty, and rusty, but you easily get the iron latch, which moves away smoothly. You have no problem unlocking the trapdoor. I look inside. You lift the hatchet, and a heavy, humid air suggests an abandoned farm cellar. Your candle allows you to estimate that the tunnel is probably a roughly 50-foot drop, but there's no ladder that you can use. You think about lowering the rope, but you realize one of the brick walls is covered with holes, meant to use as some sort of vertical stairs. You hear no sounds coming from the tunnel, but the mouldy walls and old cobwebs are not very welcoming. I climb down. Maybe in the dark depths, hopefully we don't die. You have to move slowly, learning the new route. You hug the cold, moist walls, seeking the support of your boots. It doesn't take long before you feel comfort enough to jump down, then light another candle. Great, I was walking silence. What's this? Nice. But the walls and the floors are made of stone slabs. You see no movement, no other source of light. The short tunnel leads you to a small room. I walk inside. The room smells of rotten wood and fungi. Abandoned junk is scattered on the floor, shelves and earthworm jaws, rotting scraps of linen or leather, wooden plates, bones of calves, and rusty iron tools. There are these odd ends, maybe years or decades old. The basement could just be as ancient as the main floor of the chapel. The one thing that seems uniquely fresh and durable is a small wooden box held together with a linen fine cord. I'll take the box. I found the box. We found it. Thank you, Wade. Dolman, look for a trapdoor. You are correct, Wade. There's a health potion. Oh, you would have found that without help. Don't worry. Don't worry, Wade. Thank you for the help. Thank you, Wade. Thank you. Sometimes when you get stuck at puzzles, you just have to put random stuff in and hope it works. It doesn't feel empty, but it's light. You shake it for a bit, trying to guess what's inside. You can't open the box without cutting the cords. Locks for some I'm gonna keep it in peace. You found a locked box. Using the light of your candle, you memorize the holes. You climb up quickly. And I go outside. Reginald is playfully poking the bushes nearby with its nose, ready for a journey. Let's go. So let's look in my journal, because that updated something. Let's save. Save, look in the journal. There it is. So, I found the box. Looks like I'm going to get the potion in the mugs. Let's go to Howler's Dell. 10. How many hours? 3 hours. We can do that. Shakes the box. Just shake the box around and nothing will break. It'll be fine. It has styrofoam in it. Once you're done with the unpacking, 3 armed guards show up behind you. The garrison. She wants to see you, says the man with the braided beard. He's holding a large stone mace. And you come now. After you, then. You're surrounded by curious glances and worried whispers. The mayor is in her usual spot, holding a mug with both hands. She doesn't have to say a thing. The dining neighbors get on their feet and leave the square. Without bothering with their plates, the innkeeper enters the building and Arceus heads towards the tiny islet. Excluding the guards who watch your every step, you two are alone. She waves a hand as you get pushed onto a stool, almost hitting the ground. Forgive us all of these precautions, she says with a thick local accent, observing you with high, piercing green eyes, but I'm not sure who you are. Not an ally, not a threat. Her pale fingers are tapping on the wood, yet her face is like a statue. I was pursuing my goals. I wouldn't forgive myself for sacrificing. I'm a RoadWarden. The people of Old Pagus cried for help. I answered. Many keep their scraps of their land safer. For the sake of us, may they keep this. Wouldn't forgive myself for sacrificing this many lives. You can spare one magical fruit for them. She covers her mug with her palm. Do not dare tell me what I could not spare. I owe stuff to the other tribes. You think they would have saved me from danger, or any of the souls I care about? She realizes that her fingernails are scratching the wood. She hides her hand under the table. So that is it. You took away our treasure because of a soft heart. The others, she runs her eyes around the people who are staying at the edge of the square, do not know what it means to fight for their own. They are sacrificing harsher than blood, no magic trinkets. She stares at you harshly. Now are you sacrificing my trust? I say silently. I'm no pity, Rin. She returns to the accent of the city folk. You still enjoy your stay at our lovely village, she says with a sigh, but then puts on her usual smile with a hint of a smirk. We could still use your services. You may be a stranger, but at least you carry dragon bones. The guards push you away. The others read it as a sign. They go back to their tasks and mill, avoiding your eyes. The air gets lighter. Avoiding your eyes. The air gets lighter. I approach the trader. Trader notices your arrival, then he tells the other villagers to give you some time in private. Be quick. Did you get it? I only found this box. I'm the best DM, you are. He raises an eyebrow, takes the box from your hand and cuts the cords with a dagger. It's filled with rags wrapped around an inert bottle. It's small and closed with a tall wax seal, inside of which you see a thin stick. With a grin, he picks up the bottle gently, jiggles it. Oh, now he's shaking the bottle. Weighs it in his hand, then puts it on the counter. Great! Now let's hope our little girl will not get herself swallowed by a dragon. So we'll have 5 rings. We said 5 rings. It's yours. He smiles and looks for the coin in a large pouch. Thanks on bringing of good news. I take my reward. Anything else? Do I have stuff to sell, or am I good? I have more money. I have these. I have this, which I can give to people. I have this. I have that, which I need. A simple arrow. I could sell these. I'm not using a crossbow because it's too slow. Can I sell you the crossbow, please? I brought goods to sell. What do I sell? A golem. It's afraid me forget it. What do you have? New trader unlocked. 'Tis hard to say, eh? What do travellers need? He clears his throat and turns away to have a look at a stall. While some of the crates and barrels are empty, they carry an assortment of odds and ends, tools made of wood, stone, pots, mugs, seed, vegetables, and fabric. It takes him a few moments to look through the wares. He pulls 3 packages onto the countertops. As he unwraps the first one, you recognize what it is by the shape alone. Look at this beauty, he chuckles. A shiny axe, half is long, the head is light. I know what you're thinking. Your eye says everything. He praises the weapon loudly, but you barely listen to him. You see your reflection in the unused blade, as sharp as it gets. You're not a smith, but you see no spot of rust. When you take a swing, it takes hardly any effort. The leather straps holding the piece together is just as decorative. The handle is smooth as glass and perfectly fits in your hand. Have a look at the rest. This thing is tapped against the parchment window of a lantern. Its frame is cheap, made of oak. 'Tis glued. Is it quiet? He said. He shakes it in the air. Not as handy as your iron ones with oil, but you can carry it in caves without alerting out or the corpse eaters and goblins. Perfect for a traveller. Just take a look. Inside the lantern you place a candle, not as great for people living in wooden handle houses, hidden in glue, not easy to make. But I'll not ask for more than 4 rings. That's a lot. The last stack is wide as a saddle, 3 hands tall. It contains a whole bunch of undyed linen sheets. We usually keep them for the trader, but we could use a few dragon rings, and who knows if there's ever going to be a next caravan. Depends what you want for it. We're fine with our magic and our thingy. I bet the druids hate me. It'd be fun to go see them. They hate me. Oh dear, dear. Let's go to the square. Oh wait. 3 hours till dusk. We can probably go somewhere, honestly. I received my reward. Oh, did that finish? That did. Okay, so I still need to go to Gal Rocks. I could probably travel up there, honestly, and then the next thing we can check the fishing rods. How long have I been going? I forgot. I never count. This is me for not counting. I've been going for about 2 hours now. I don't feel tired or anything, so I feel like I keep going, which is bad. I should do that. Not again. It's the olden days. I used to stream for like 4 hours and not get tired until the 5th one. So I can definitely stream for longer. I can definitely do that. It's just not great. It's at 8:30. So it's almost 3 hours now. Okay, let's go to Gal Rocks, finish up this thing, and then I'll probably leave it. So, symbol trap that was up at the creeks. So creeks people can teach me that. I'll go talk to them in a bit. There's a fallen tree. What does this say? Tree blocked cleared path. It was cut down for an ambush, and they're taking it to the north. Missing hunters. I still want to go into the forest. Let's travel. I want to go here. What does this say? You can't get here before nightfall. That'll take me 6 hours. Okay. 6 hours? How many hours do I have left? Like 5. How long does it take me to get here? 1 hour. So I can probably get here. Let's go here. I hear battle music. Good thing I saved. This road takes you to the edge of the woods. A few trees have found a lucky scrap of soil towering above the water, while others, shorter and not as lush, roots sink into the pools. Some of the plants are filled with tools. Oh. So the road itself isn't so dark, with the surrounding sunbeams getting through the water branches. On your left, surrounded by darkened swarms of insects. Help me, help me. The sudden cries, scream of pain, reaches you between the trees. A woman or a child. Oh no, this is this thing. We save, and if we die, well, well. Because they said there's monsters that yell out. But it also could be a woman or a child. That's very specific. So many people getting notifications. So. As long as you hydrate, yes. Well, kind of. I was hoping you got... No. I usually set up a timer for it, especially when I'm doing recording runs, which last like 2 hours each. So I do a run of recordings for about 2 hours, and then I'm done. But I usually set up timers for it, but I was late, a little bit late, because of my OBS wasn't working. So I'm a little bit late for that one. It's a jolly update, knocked out everything. Well, I saved. Let's see what happens. It was a quick save. I tried to spot anyone. Amongst the green and red leaves, you don't see any unusual colours. Come to think of it, there are a few creatures in sight, other than the mosquitoes and flies. Dark-winged birds are quiet. Sparse toads let out a squawk. Tense. It may be a trap. It sounds like it's a trap, honestly. It's like 2 hours away from dusk. You lean against the pond. It's cleaner than in the other parts of the bog, allowing you to see the bottom. Parts of it are still knee deep, and the sulfuric odor makes you step away with a frown. Brownish colors can't hide all the bones of plants that remain to stick out of the bed. Is somebody really in the water though? This makes me question everything. If somebody... I don't... I go in. I don't care, I'm already dirty. You get slower with every step, so your pants and boots are soaked with mud. The cold water makes you shiver. The sulfuric odor makes you glance at the creature bones sticking out. The voice won't stop. You gather up your bravery and step forward. In the mud, you run into the trees, observe the tree crowns. You move deeper in, but your clothes turn every step into a struggle. You wouldn't spot anything particular amongst the branches until your eyes land on an unusual grey bird. It seems to open its beak. At the same time, you hear a pitiful shout. A dark sharp is descending towards you from the same very tree. Examine it. Dark shape. That's a bird. I strike it. The axe you brought north doesn't land, but your quick reaction overcomes the blade shortcomings. It hits the beast, cutting the skin of its shoulder suddenly, but also pushing it with a powerful blow. You step away, avoiding the pounce. The dark creature plunges into the water. I turn around and take a look. The cat's legs are bent, ready to jump, wide and muscular. Its eyes stare at you without blink, are round and yellow with pinches of black irises in the center. Its waist high, its chin hanging just above the water, a claw that could bite off your limb in a heartbeat. It's a short brown whiskers nose as big as your hand. Even without the dirt, it's almost black with a glimpse of yellow and a rose-like pattern on its sides and dots on its head. You can't see the creature's paws through the now clouded water. The cat lets out a growl, like a saw cutting a log. The slight wound on its shoe doesn't seem to bother it. I take a defensive stance. Oh, I lost my armor. Okay. You hear flapping of wings, but it's already too late. The bird talon sinks into your shoulder. Once you get distracted, the cat darts forward towards you. You evade it, but it pushes your stomach with a huge claw, placing cuts through the armor. Before you reach it with your blade, it's already out of your range. But the bird almost flies away, now circling above you. Pointing the tree branches, it has a red tail and short carved-like vulture beak. It growls just like the cat did a few moments ago. You notice the human screams have disappeared. The cat looks you in the eye, then roars. It moves forward and you hardly see any blood in its shell. Its companion circles around you, looking for an opponent to catch. Run away. No, they'll catch me. I try to stay safe, looking for an opponent to make a precision strike. The bird distracts you, pecks at your hair, your jacket. You try to do your best, but the strike charges at your attempt fails. Even though you've also landed a hit, the beast manages to reach your stomach with its claw. While your old axe carries and keeps no struggle to push away. I attack the bird with my magic. No. You wait for the bird to dive at you, then take a swing. The blade sends half of the raven-side creature into the water to the enjoyment of the local scavengers. A few grey and red feathers are drifting next to you. Still, you aren't fast enough to stay away from the cat. Before you return to the proper stance, it tries to knock you down again, stopped by your block. Still reaching a paw, your garrison, it keeps you in one piece. I have 0 protection. Let's go. It roars towards you. Its dead companion looks onto your eyes, now moves forward slowly. Its blood mixes with the color of dirt. Playing for time, you keep your distance and then duck as the beast jumps at you. So far, your reflexes are beyond reapproach. A few breaths, the cat prepares itself for another strike. Let's hope it's not too patient. The cat observes you with new respect, surprised you're still standing. It looks at its dead companion and without a second it leaps away, then partially swims across the pond with speed matching a Palfrey's gallop. You consider following it, but after it reaches a tree crown with just 2 jumps, it gets another one with a single breath. You wipe your forehead and turn away. Gasping, wet and furious, you hobble back to your beaten path. Reginald seems worried as you try to ease its soul with a few encouraging words, hoping it'll leave you alone for a moment. You consider washing your clothes, but you need a bathtub, and if not, a stream. You put on so many dry clothes you can find, hoping your wet boots won't get your clothes. This I know, no soul's in danger. Travel. Let's go to Foggy's. It manages to grow back a bit, which your mount welcomes with a drool, relaxed eyes. There are a dozen of feathers scattered around the yard, as well as blood-stained orphans hanging on the fence. Into the inn. Foggy is standing in the middle. Let's go to sleep. have rations. Let's just sleep. Winner! I like half one. I didn't win all the way, but it was pretty good. You notice it while you undress. One of your recent wounds is going to leave a mark. Nice, I've got a scar. I've got a bit of scar. I'm sorry. That's all I could think of. First notice it by touch, then see if it reflects on my blade. Long cut on my cheek. The deep cut in my hand still hurts, especially when I managed to ignore it, but the cut on my leg hurts with every— Why is it changing every single time? The bruise on my stomach looks like the night sky. Yay. Why would I care? It happens to all travelers. Look, first notice it by the touch, then see if it reflects on my blade. Cut on the cheek. Looking at the grunts of the annoying Reginald makes you feel uneasy. At least the fur covering the floor helps you rest. You don't even notice when it's already morning. While the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you has to take care of it. He smiles at you. So my next job. Still interested? I need to message Leeson, the innkeeper of the Pelt of the North. His place is far to the south, a huge burden for us to get there. A huge burden worth, let's say, 3 dragons. Nice. She sits down on a stool looking at you in the eye, and scars and wrinkles on her thoughtful face could belong to a statue. Tell him we're still trading. I'm running out of patience. Remember, it's well, eh? Bring me the answer, only then you'll get paid. I'll do it. She nods. Okay, let's leave. Time for me to go. There's nobody here who can fix my stuff. Let's save, because I survived and I lived, and I deserve a save. Let's travel. We go to Gull Rocks. He was at the pier, wasn't he? Back to the ocean. Seagulls are as loud as the waves. There are no boats, nets, or fishes in sight, but there are countless boost prints. I wash myself by the ocean. The water is freezing. After you're done, the sun makes you wait for a bit before you're dry enough to put your clothes back on. Unpleasant touch of salt covering your skin will travel with you. I pack my things. You lead Reginald back to the road. Travel to the pier. You stand next to the shed. The fishers have just arrived. They unloaded the bargains at the river and prepare their tools and boats. I head to the fishers. Pontius inspects the equipment and discusses future plans with the workers at the coast. Listen, hereby he claims you owe. Are you need any help today? No. Because I have no garrison, so let's wait. What? I owe nothing to that old fool. I can have it here tomorrow if you want, but better have a coin with you. I need to ask somebody for it with a net. It'll take hours. See you later. So, what's the update with that? Our reward is going to be one-time access to the man's healing powers. Nice. So you come back tomorrow, is that what he said? Okay. It's morning, it's 11 hours. We need to get this fixed. I don't think I'm allowed to go in here, I'll just check again. Life is slowing down. As you look around, many of the villagers are gathered at the eastern banks, preparing for a meal or a prayer. Only the youngster workers at their posts maintaining... Oh, I thought there was something else. Maintaining crude tasks, such as adding fuel to the flames. The guards are spread outside of the gates, watching the area carefully. Locals avoid your eyes, yet you swear you'll watch wherever you go. I look for somebody. What are you looking for? I don't know. Am I looking for anybody in this town? You find nobody. I don't think so. Oh, I can go to the creeks and talk to them about that. Didn't I need to go here? I guess I'll go to the guard then. That's not for now. I go to the gatekeeper. The guard you met when you first arrived at the village is leaning against the wall, observing both the gates and your mount. Whenever Reginald Snort, the innkeeper, reaches for his axe, he sighs and notices you glance. What? Most settlements, people are more... You heard what is the plague? His voice is close to a shout. A few people glance towards the two of you. The guard grows pale. Better take it to our head woman, Warden. We're planning to trade with them. We were. I walk away. Head woman. Yes, I don't look very well. I'm healthy, but my face is dirty and my clothes are torn. Sorry, guys. Head woman. Okay, maybe I can't talk to her. That's enough. Can I talk to him? Maybe it'll be this. He gives you an irritable glance and stares at the river. Most settlements have fewer memories of getting robbed by drifters and wasting their time on goods for nothing adventurers. Most all them free souls think they have a right to our patience and care if they have some savior of ours. Each of them, well, we've been beating these lands for centuries with right to help and the patience of our forebearers. If anyone wants our respect, they better work for it. When you notice that getting away... I'm dying. When you notice that getting away with the thief must not be easy task, he answers slowly. Don't get any ideas, outsiders. It's easy to disappear in the hills or at the crossroads. We just got to be vigilant more than our allies. The stonecutters are old paggers. They could let themselves be more open to strangers. They have neighbors, gentler roads, and less of a wall to defend. I walk away. Let's travel. Let's go to the creeks. A guard leans from the watch tower, welcomes you warmly with a shout, though the wind distorts the words. Let's see who I had to talk to. Oopsie daisy. That was a fun little place, yes. Okay, return. Journal again. Check on him. Eastern Path, I need to go ask about a trap. Missing hunters, I don't have any news. Eastern Paths, that was Elha. So we go to him, the carpenter. He's cutting a plank into smaller slabs. He waves to you with a chisel. Hi there, friend. I see you've taken a liking to our village. I've helped clear the plague from Alpagus. It may not be a safe place, but it will survive. His grin is soon followed by his raised voice. Are you serious? Everybody, he addressed the other people working near the square. Tell the others the plague is gone. We're safe. After his eyes return to you, he clears his throat. Old Pagus is safe. You explain briefly what happens, and he spends a few good moments considering the old druid's part. I wouldn't expect somebody from Howler to help another soul in need, he says while his hands clasp to the bottom of his part of his coat. Not since they're ruled by a tyrant. Oh, okay. But it's not the first time the forest speaker has protected the peninsula from a grave threat. He smiles at you. And so did you, I guess. About the Eastern Path? Any troubles? I looked at the old woman, it's safe. He keeps sculpting the wood and asks you about the size, entrance of the chapel. I've heard it's small, but not that small. Not enough for a group, maybe a lone traveller and without a mount. He looks at you with a smile. Pick a dragon bone from the case, will you? I don't want to stop now. You reach towards the ugly head of a hydra. Go in. If he's not looking, nah, he'll know. Well, friend, thanks to your tales, the hunter and foragers feel more confident about the meadow from here to Foggy's, even beyond. When you have a day to spare, come here and ask any morning. Ask about our tribe folk, about a job for a RoadWarden, unless it rains. You'll get 2 dragon heads, good stew to fill your belly for a day, and patrol the roads and assist us in our wagons. So, the things you're meant to do anyway, eh? Maybe. New job available, let's go. Just come with a healthy shell and won't be a stroll, yeah. The bugs, yes, we can light them all on fire. We know Fireball, we're a mage. We can... Hold on. Okay, that should be fine. You're here for an empress. Yes, fish. There's some people here that will talk to you. Yeah. Last time they were less talkative, but now I think they're a bit more open, which is nice. Gull Rocks as well, less talkative. But it's nice after you've done a few quests. I encountered a fallen tree in the far south. You described its exact location. I guess it was unavoidable for this thing to happen at one point or the other. Too bad. So far away from here. He stops his work and turns to you. So, what would you like to help us with that, friend? So, would you like us to help with that? I ask him what he proposes. He describes what he calls a day of honest work. Just come to me. Someday in the early hours, I still need to discuss this with the tribe, and I will ask the city folk to travel with you to the tree. They will agree if you feel like the roads can be trusted. Split into 2 blocks, get into a wagon, bring it here, and it won't go to waste. The road will be clean. When you mention it's going to take an entire day, he agrees. You'll get 5 dragon bones for it. Just come to me when you're healthy, and only if you already know what's en route from here to the point. We'll put a lot of trust in your guidance and protection, Ren. Okay, because I have 0 armor. I need to go get that fixed. Where do I go get armor fixed again? Howler's Dell, but apparently she's a tyrant. So they don't like her? Maybe she got greedy? I don't know. Anyway. So you want me to get to know the entire route, make sure it's safe enough for your tribe to follow, and come here in the morning, but only if I can quite a list. Fine, but we'll see. I'm not gonna wait, no. He thinks about your words and reaches for his case. You're right, that's a lot. I can't help you much, but at least you deserve 1 bone right away for bringing me the message. Maybe buy some rations for it or a good rest. Actually, we also need at least 1 day to prepare ourselves. Thanks. Never tired of good news. I'll let you know if there's anything else. Anything else? See you later. Let's approach the farmer. You follow the path between the fields and witness a one-sided conversation between old Halv and a barely adult man. She orders him around, points at various plants, and criticizes the sight of weeds. Addressing the fancy clothes he's wearing, he observes his reddened, dyed boots and lets out a relieved sigh after your arrival. I better change, he mumbles, heading to the main square. You step out of his way. The woman spares you a wary glaze and turns away, focusing on the struggling vegetables. She's the only person in the village who wears clothes made of plant fabric, but she's weathered and covered with decades-old patches. Her hands clasped behind her back as she's constantly twitching. Friendly, how you doing? Faithful youth, huh? Back in my day. What do you got for sale? Don't test my patience. I won't patiently. How are you doing? After a moment, she turns to you, slowly chewing the bottom of her lip. I'm doing my break. Say what you want and be fast. Do you have anything for sale? We sold what we had. We lacking hunters and those. She looks at the winkled vegetables. We'll go into a stew, if they're even worth picking. Without noticing it, she grabs her left forearm with her right hand, but it won't stop the twitching. We already have a fish trap to spare, but we need it just in case. A large basket. Put it in a creek, wait a day or two until something swims inside. I'll sell you one for 2 dragon bones. But if you'd rather eat something right away, she carries on after a small pause. Our cooks would spare you a roast gabs or a chicken. It would be cold, but it would be fresh. We always have one. You never know when there are maggots in your supplies, and children won't skip a meal. You ask her to tell you more, but her patience grows thin. It's best light roast in the north. We added plenty of spices to it, so it spoils slowly. That's it. Fine, show me how the trap works. Fish trap. We got another fish trap, guys. Let's not. I didn't expect many merchants to reach this place. Why don't you move your traps to Foggy's? What's it to ya? She didn't raise for my response. Does her yard look like it has space for gnats? Okay. You here for the... okay, I read that. Okay, wow. I don't think there's any other way I can go outwards. There's no other path out except there. The landslide is probably the only one out that way. This is the marshes, so the white marshes guy's probably here, but I got attacked. So, statue of woman. She's holding a long staff. You'll probably rest there. We can rest there. And then we can go to the fallen tree. So let's go to Foggy's and then we can call it after night. So, wait, I need to fix my thing. Wait, no. We need to travel further. Fine. We'll travel down to the pelt of the north. We'll have to check the fish trap. Maybe let me forget about the fish trap. 2 hours before dusk. Can we go check the fish trap? 1 hour. Can I go check the fish trap though? Let's see if the fish trap, unfortunately, is still empty. Yay, okay. Travel. Fine. I don't know how I can travel to this when it's on the other side of the map, but I can't go to Pelt of the North. It doesn't make sense. I look at the fallen tree, updated fallen tree. The tracks lead here through the narrow gate, then west. The hard heel is especially noticeable. So they're going to the west. Okay, pick up. Should be, I spend half an hour foraging. It's like nighttime. I spend hour foraging. Okay, fine. In the middle of night. Reginald glances at the fence while you cross the short meadow, seeking edible leaves of ferns, swallows, lettuces that hide in the shadow of the sparse trees, forcing you to get on your knees and push the branches away. After some time, with needles in your hoods and sleeves, you carry vegetables to the gate, washing them with your water skin and spreading them on a blanket, allowing them to dry up in the moonlight. Perfect. As you pick up a few remaining pears and berries, you notice a wide tree hollow. You take a look inside and find a stash of acorn nuts and also hazels. Sweet, more food for me. You pick up enough of stomach-friendly nuts to satisfy the day. If I have any raw meat with me. Nighttime. Enter the tower again. You're at the second floor. Don't have anything that help me get rid of the bugs. Sleep. Sleep. You can only get hungrier, we can't get any dirtier. The shivers wake you up. You open the window and invite the dense fog in, letting the gentle droplets form on your skin. The entire tower is surrounded by darkness, and you see no stars nor the ground. I stay inside, hoping there are no curses carried by the fog. You open your eyes, and there's this unpleasant tingling on your cheek. You reach for what seems to be a small bug. You throw it away and look around, seeing a dozen of tiny creatures swarming on the floors, the bed, as well as your blanket. Clothes and bags, you push them away, gathering your things and thoughts. Still crowded by dreams, you gather your things, look through the bags, removing as many insects, worms, and spiders from them as you can. Reginald observes you patiently, unmoved by the commotion. You push away all the furniture that you used to blockade the door and walk your palfrey outside, allowing it to graze on the grass for half an hour. In the meantime, you equipped it with your riding set, using the sunlight to double-check your belongings, and thought that no matter how scrupulous you are, you may keep finding new creatures in your food that don't leave you alone. So they've gone to the west. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. For the next, which will be Saturday in the morning, even though I miss streaming at this time. This time works really well for me, because Saturday in the morning is way too early for me, or it's way too late. It's just way too early, and I can't think that well, but this time is nice, so I miss it. I do greatly miss it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work all the time, which is sad. Anyway, it was good. Good 3-hour stream, I think. Next time, I'll probably forget this, but for next time, they've headed, what's the Fallen Tree quest? They've gone west, so they've gone in that direction. So they've gone to the heart of the forest, so they're probably in the White Marshes, honestly. So I'm still doing the bronze. I check on this guy first. I go get my Gavison repaired because I'm going to die without having proper armor on equipment. I already died losing it. We go to, I guess we can stop by his first, and then we go to ゚ and then we search the bog a little bit, and then we go to Foggy's to sleep, then we go to the other people. And so just doing quests, yeah. Save again. Right. Little baby spiders, yes, baby spiders. The baby spiders are back. They're always back. They're always here. Bye, Fox. I had fun. Oh, good, Wade. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. It was nice seeing you again. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. You can get some work in, maybe finish early. Also, thank you for jumping in and saying hi, River. It's very nice to see you. Sorry, Ruby. I read your last name. Yeah. I'll see you guys on Saturday or Sunday. Haha, got to it. Okay. That concludes. No ending screen because I messed up everything. I messed up my OBS. Everything's broken. So I'm just gonna end it. Sorry. Okay. Bye, guys.